855-4869. That's Big Red Towing, on the air because they care.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith. Innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break. Brought to you by Sand Hills Global. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Bush.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Early Break on the ticket. No Jake Sorensen today, as he is going to be making his way back from the wonderful state of New Mexico. Nick Sainert filling in for Jake for just one day this week alongside Bill Bush and Steve Sipple. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
How exciting is this?
Good morning.
How excited are you right now?
That's Monday. It's April, early April. Not overly fired up, but yeah.
Come on. We got a lot to discuss.
There's a lot of sports.
Yes, swim is here.
I am here.
There's a taped crown on the window.
Yes.
How about that?
Was that been there all night, do you feel?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that question. It is a crown. You have a better view of it than me.
Appears as if that's what it is, yes. Was there a celebration on O Street last night that could have caused this?
There was not.
Okay.
There was it? I highly doubt that there was a celebration on O Street.
That could have been when maybe the crown got placed.
Late night drop off or early morning drop off. If you dropped off the crown, let us know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we're here. We're doing a show.
We sure are.
Yeah.
After Nebraska does win the crown, we'll get to that in a couple of minutes.
What else are we going to cover today?
We got a lot. Husker football. We had Matt Rule speak to the media over the weekend on Saturday.
Did you write, Steve, on that?
I did. Nice. Bill, you were excited by the epic collapse of Duke. You weren't, or you could say the miraculous comeback of Houston.
It was.
We'll save it now.
We'll save that. But I'll give the brief synopsis of the. Even driving into today at that, and even yesterday, that all you heard about was the Duke Houston game. Incredible game. The game before was remarkable, like insane good. It was like insane good.
Yeah,
and up and down it was nuts, and it was like the game didn't happen. It was like, and then also I guess I should mention that Florida's also in the championship. Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
It's like it's not
Kind of
even
like
been
that.
discussed on any of the sports shows. It's 90% Duke Houston.
It is. It is because it's Duke.
Well, they had the best player in the country and Cooper Flag too.
But I get where Bill's coming from. I watched the Duke game. I had the Florida Auburn game in the background at Misty's, and I could kind of see what was going on, but it was close.
No, it was remarkable.
Yeah,
it was remarkable. That game was absolutely the athletes up and down the court. It was insane, and it got away late. Don't forget, like with about whatever it was, 2 minutes to go, the score is basically tied.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't like yes, they won by 5 or 6, whatever it was, but it didn't get away till the last 20 seconds of the game for that to happen. Oh. It was remarkable.
We're getting texts already. Big swim is in.
Yes.
Roll call today.
We did get a text. We did get a comment on the YouTube stream that says swim is in, roll call time.
Nels in Montana.
That is right.
Nels.
That is right.
Nels is our guy.
Yeah. Been there all the time with that. But
and who else is here? Ellie's here.
Ellie is here.
So we got a full boat.
We do. Just no Jake. Jake's back tomorrow, though. He wanted to make it very clear he is back tomorrow.
Back tomorrow. I got some photos. It was snowing. Grant kept me. I got no photos from Jake. I got them all from Grant. He let me know what was going on with Jake. I had a experience. If we are we doing Idle Chit Chat?
Absolutely.
Because Swim's not bringing it up. I don't know if
who's sponsored by?
Idle Chit Chat sponsored by our friends at Newton's Lawn Care. New customers get 20% off a 2025 fertilizer program. All you have to do is just text the ticket to Andrew at 402-440-6297, and you can get a free quote within 24 hours from our friends at Newton's Lawn Care.
Commence with the Idle Chit Chat.
Well, I went to things been kind of tied up with craziness with schedule, but went to a fish fry Friday night, and it was the best fish fry I've ever been to in my life.
Where was
it? It was probably about an hour drive from our house to get there, but it was in Abby.
I've never heard of it.
Abby, you've never
heard of it.
Abby that's getting
Abby.
towards to your direction. That's just west of Schuyler. Is the location of it. Just west of Schuyler, so towards you. So if you're driving, it's between Morris Bluff and North Bend to the west.
Or to the east.
To the west. Between those two on that road, wherever the road that is. From Columbus would be to the east.
Okay.
From Columbus to the east. Where I give the directions at is to the west of between Morris Bluff and North Bend, and it's about 6 miles north. It was the most incredible place. They had a polka band playing.
Nice.
They had a polka band playing. I don't even know what this building was. It was a building. It's a block building, and there was a little gym inside of it. Inside the gym is where they were set up with the polka band. And then when you go down there at that, and I call them kolaches. That's not accurate. I know it's not pronounced right. And the big discussion was if they were made with duck fat or not duck fat. That was a big conversation.
That's not the correct way to pronounce it.
What's that?
Is that not the correct way to say kolaches?
No, kolaches is not correct.
Kolaches?
Yeah, it's close, but it's not correct. I was told that that day, and I've always said them kolaches.
Yeah, because
there's a different way to say it.
I'm a big Czech family, so that's how we've always.
And maybe that's different by areas, but whatever the maybe it's said differently in different parts of the state.
What are we saying? Is it kolache?
I just say kolaches.
I say
kolaches. And I get called out for that on Friday night
by a local.
But yeah, someone that was ingrained. Yes. Okay. But anyway, you walk in and it's mayhem. It's complete mayhem inside. And finally, this waitress kind of walks by. I go, "How's it work?" She goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "How do you do that?" She goes, "You're on your own. If you find a table, you're on your own. There's no line. There's no number. There's no anything. You just hope for the best."
That's kind of good.
And I liked it. It was a very good system. And then they had a huge bakery set up. They were selling kolaches and rye bread. And it was, they probably sold
rye bread.
I'm gonna say Swim, they sold no less than over 1,000 kolaches. A dozen at a time.
The things I love about the fish fries too is it's like $1.
What's that?
It's $1 for the desserts.
Yeah,
they put them on the little paper plates, the little dessert paper plates. They cut you out a piece of cake or whether it's a kolache, whatever it is. And they just, how much is it? $1. Thank you. Here's a $1 bill.
System.
Everything was the food is incredible. Duke was there.
Whose idea was this?
Duke's idea.
Duke's been chiming in on the show.
Yeah, been chiming a lot of that. Very political. Very political. But anyway,
which way does he lean?
Duke, chime in with that. I'll let him speak for himself. Yeah. But anyway, if anybody's ever been to Abbey, Nebraska, please text in for their fish fry.
What would you guess? All right, that's enough. There was a fish fry in Abbey. There was no system. John Calipari could have been interviewed and said, the system is there is no system.
There is no system. I met with the system. There's no system.
There is no system. I don't have anything. I do have a lot, but I don't nothing all overly interesting. I mean, I
don't think we even I don't know. It wasn't even hard. No. Rarely a group text this weekend.
I feel like we were busy.
Yeah, everyone's kind of tied up with some stuff.
I was tied up. I mean, the only thing I did eat that Misty's in Havelock, and it was really good. And it was.
Did you have prime rib bits?
No, we split.
Yeah,
we split a steak, and it was fine. Everything was fine. Everything was good.
That's good. I made my.
Yes, what was it? We got to talk about swim.
I made the return to Warner Park over the weekend.
This is a whole subject.
See that? So that when you said we need to talk about swim, I thought we were going right away into the relationship thing that's going on down in Dallas.
There's nothing going on.
Okay,
easy.
Okay,
easy, Bill.
Okay, I thought there was something.
I thought that was in Arlington.
I thought that was
no.
In Arlington.
Are you Dallas? We're not doing this. See, look at what I did. I turned the mics off. There we go. I'll turn it back on.
Texas Rangers.
We need to.
Was it Arlington?
We need to calm down a little bit on everything.
Are you making the Texas sweep?
No, we are not. I was going to talk about the Omaha Storm Chasers.
What was going on in Texas last weekend?
I was going to talk about the Omaha Storm Chasers.
Yes.
We made the return back as the on-field MC.
Swim turned our mics off.
I did because we have to be very. There's no reason to talk about this stuff.
Okay,
okay.
All right, and we thought everyone knew it was on social media.
No, it was not on social media. There was nothing on social media.
What was going on at Warner Park?
Well, they had me back for year 2 of on-field MCing. So here we are.
See that? See,
we thought you were down in Arlington.
No, I was. Stop.
Okay.
Bill? We could just calm down right now.
Please.
Just calm down.
Steve said Arlington. I said Dallas.
Yep.
So a lot of confusion.
But I'm here in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So here we are.
And who did the Royals play?
They played the Louisville Bats, which is the AAA affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds.
Louisville Bats.
But here's the thing.
Are they using torpedo bats?
They are not.
Okay.
No torpedo bats at the AAA level yet. Okay. I mean, not that it's not legal, but they could. They just don't.
Yeah, not everybody's using
it. Was freezing cold on Saturday. It was like 49 degrees. It was a little rough. It was chilly, but yesterday was a beautiful day. Warner Park, great spot. By the way, Cags. Everybody's just waiting for the arrival of Jack Caglianone. If I asked you who Jack Caglianone was, Sipple, would you
snuck that one by me?
Would you know?
That one, I would not know.
You guys would not know.
No, he is a comedian.
He is not a comedian. The number one prospect probably in the Royals farm system.
Jack Caglianone.
He was the guy from Florida last year that matched all
the big
guys. The big giant first
that did not register with me. Now I'm with you.
He's going to be there probably in about a month.
Really?
So everybody's just
for the Royals.
Yes. That's correct.
Where's he at now?
He is in Arkansas with their AA team.
Gotcha.
Do you have anything going in Arkansas?
No.
Yeah. Were you going to...
I think that's a good place to stop, though.
No. Caglione's that's a good subject. Caglione, I do remember him against Nebraska. He's a masher. He's a huge first baseman, and I didn't know he went to the Royals. That's exciting for the Royals organization.
Yeah. So it's exciting because obviously everybody's just waiting for him. He's going to be called up to Kansas City by August, September, that time, and right when the Royals are probably making a playoff push. But unfortunately, he's got to start obviously in the minors. Well, so he's starting in AA. A lot of times nowadays, the top prospects will actually skip AAA, but it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen. So we're hearing through the tea leaves that he's going to be in Omaha in like late May, early June. And so be there for about a month and then eventually get called up to the Kansas City Royals as well.
That is exciting. Bill swims probably better equipped to address this. I did watch the Royals the other day. My perception is they could use an infusion of star talent.
I don't know. They probably have one of the most intriguing and exciting young players in all of baseball, Bobby Witt Jr.
Okay, are we going? Yeah.
I mean,
I like Witt Jr.
Yeah, I think there's that.
I like Witt Sr.
Bobby Witt Jr., you're right.
Yeah, Bobby Witt. It's tough because I've learned a lot over the last 2 years of being involved with the Storm Chasers. I've learned a lot about like how the minor league systems work and things like that. The toughest part right now, there's a couple of really good pieces that they have in Omaha. They won the championship last year. The Storm Chasers won the AAA championship in their league last year, and they have a lot of really intriguing pieces. However, they have no room for them because of contract situations going up in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, one of their best players right now in AAA, Cam Devaney, is a shortstop and a third baseman. Well, at shortstop, you have Bobby Witt. Even if Bobby Witt fell off the face of the earth from a contract standpoint, you can't bench him. Right. Then on the other side, a third baseman, you same exact deal with Michael Garcia at Kansas City. You can't bench him. So this guy's just kind of stuck here. The Royals don't want to trade him. He's too valuable to their organization. They're just kind of stuck with, hey,
you move him to another position.
You could probably, it's at this point, like, then you have to look at like points and careers of like how, so it's a fascinating kind of situation that organizations have to deal with.
Well, how were the crowds out there?
They're okay. I mean, a couple thousand, which I didn't think was too bad for a first April series. It was the home opening series. So I didn't think it was too bad. So the way they have the travel schedule set up in minor league baseball is they're at home for 1 week, Tuesday to Sunday. Then the next week they're on the road from Tuesday to Sunday, and they just alternate. So it's not so crisscross and jumbled like it used to be, because money's obviously a factor at the minor league levels.
So with the Final Four men's, the Crown, Nebraska, and the women's national championship game, we went to AAA baseball instead.
Simple brought it up.
Simple
wanted to bring it up.
So any questions, please text in
No.
the text line for
This,
AAA baseball.
This is on me.
Travel.
I was going to say, Simple, you need to back me up here, because
I am backing up. We learned
you.
about Caglione. We don't talk about the old Royals very much. It's the Crown. And
if Bobby Witt Jr., if you came in with the 2 coffees, Simple got me coffee this morning because Jake's not here, so I was in a panic.
You handled
if
it well.
came in with 2 coffees,
you handled it well.
And Bobby Witt Jr. was sitting at one of the booths, would you have known it was him? No, I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have got me. There was like there's a guy in the booth there.
I wouldn't know.
And I wish I'd known that.
I wouldn't
be able to identify him because I do follow him.
See,
I do follow him. Me and Jake talked about him a lot in September last year.
Some of this is just this. We don't follow baseball anymore. Swim. Like when I say that, I was watching the Royals and the Orioles. And I was like, I don't know any of these players, and none of them.
That's okay.
There was a time when
Me and Steve would have been able to, if any of the Royals came in from
70s,
from the 70s, we'd have known every single one of them.
John Mayberry, Amy Sotis, Cookie Rojas, Fred Patek,
George
Brett,
second. I could pick George Brett out of in a mall of 1,000 people on Christmas Eve. Find him.
Porter, Darryl, the catcher.
Quisenberry, the quiz.
Quisenberry. Dennis Leonard was a pitcher.
Yeah.
There was a day where we could do it.
I was impressed you guys knew torpedo bats.
Oh, come on. We're not.
We're sports. We're sports.
We're not a total head in the sand.
Yeah.
We're not total.
Farley's here.
Let's
Farley. Hey, Farley's here.
Yes. Farley is here. That has been Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care.
Find out where everybody's listening at.
We're not doing that today. New customers get 20% off a 2025 fertilizer program. Just text the ticket to Andrew, 402-440-6297, and you can get a free quote within 24 hours from our friends at Newton's Lawn Care. All right.
Okay.
Nebraska basketball yesterday. They win the Crown 77-66 over the UCF Golden Knights. They knocked off Boise on Saturday as well, which I thought that Boise game, guys, was, I mean, from a paper standpoint, when you looked at some of the scoring ability for Boise State, you wondered, okay, how is Nebraska's defense going to fare? Boise State was a 26-win team. They were a team that was on the fringe of the NCAA tournament. Good enough for, I thought personally, and I think Fred Hoiberg felt the same way. He said it in a couple press conference clippings that he felt like Boise State should have been in the NCAA tournament. But Nebraska takes care of business on Saturday, and then most recently, obviously, on Sunday, they knock off UCF 77-66. What did you guys like about that game?
It was how crazy it was in terms of just massive swings, and that Nebraska was able to respond when they were down. When they were down 14?
They were down 14 in the second half.
Yeah, the Knights of UCF led by 14, and Nebraska couldn't get much going. All of a sudden, though, it got going, and they went on a 24-3 run after appearing dead in the water. 24-3 avalanche.
Yeah, it was an avalanche.
Yeah,
it really was. To go back to the simplest form of the game, appeared as if there was a decent Nebraska crowd there. Now they were all just gathered around the court. It didn't expand up, but there was crowds.
They were gathered around.
They were gathered around, and it was as a heavily. I'm saying UCF was. I think it was probably to be 90% Nebraska fans.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a lot of UCF
traveling like crazy.
Hey, hold on.
Yes,
there's Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I say wild run, and you're right, there was some people there. Wild runs. I mean, the UCF had just had a 16-0 run, which stretched from the first half to the second half.
Yeah, and towards the back end of that run as well, Juwan Gary gets hit in the head, and he has to come out of the game, and you didn't know at the time what the situation was with Juwan until he came back and started to kind of take over that game last night.
He did. Gary accepted the MVP trophy, which was a lavish golden basketball.
It looked very cool, didn't it?
Yeah.
I did. I was very impressed with the ball looked like.
He was the tournament MVP because he had obviously a good run yesterday. What he had 20 points, 8 rebounds, swim, just
two steals.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to find it there.
Yeah. It's hard to look at Juwan Gary here. 20 points, 8 rebounds, and stayed out of foul trouble too. I mean, Nebraska as a whole, there was only one guy that was in some foul trouble throughout the chunk of the game, and that was Bryce had 4. He dealt with a little bit towards the back end. Andrew Morgan, though, who was in the starting lineup yesterday, that's what I thought was interesting. It was Berke was not in the starting lineup yesterday.
4 minutes.
He only played 4 minutes. He didn't check in until I believe there was a minute and a half left in the first half. I was listening to the game on the radio on the way back in town, and I was kind of.
He clanked a couple free throws.
It was kind of bizarre when I heard a couple minutes left in the first half, and Berke checks in for the first time.
Yeah,
but there's a matchup thing, and that's like we can have this conversation later in the show when we talk. What this means going forward. But that just goes to show like there's going to have to be some changes made to specifically Berke's game next season. Just because with Rink Mast coming back, Rink Mast provides you a little bit more of a dependable and consistent option in terms of a stretch big, to where Berke is going to have to figure out a way to find the floor, or else this is going to be something that we see often.
I think that's a promising front line is what I think. I think Berke can adjust to being more play out on the floor a little bit, right? I guess they both
I suppose.
do. They both. What's your hesitancy there?
We just didn't see it from a consistent standpoint this year.
What? See what?
That Berke was able to be out there and also be effective.
No, you didn't see it on a consistent standpoint. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I think he has it in him. The injury sort of affects the conversation, right?
I suppose.
But he looks, I've always told Bill and Jake, Berke looks really good shooting the ball.
He does.
But he doesn't.
It's very smooth.
Yeah.
It's not jerky. It looks very smooth.
It looks like he's.
And when he came back from his injury, it was pretty remarkable. He looked fine. He really did. It didn't look like it's
limping around.
He's gimping around out there. Or I use the term, it bites you every now and then. You just see him just kind of go, oh, man, I didn't see that.
Fine is relative. He missed his first 14 shots.
Yes. I mean, fine. I mean, physically fine.
Yeah, but physically, no, you're right.
He moved up and down the court fine.
Oh, he did. He did. Yeah. He looked fine from that standpoint. He kind of looked rusty. I don't know. Swim, I think that Mast and Berke that would be one of the main reasons for optimism, I would think.
I think Mast especially. I think there's going to be. I mean, Nebraska just
down on Berke.
Well, no. Here's what I would say is I think Nebraska just showed you how they feel about their front line with the transfer portal addition that they just got from Central Michigan, Ubi. I mean, there's that point too, right? I think you can learn a lot from how a coaching staff feels and what they kind of expect for the next year by not only who they actually get commitments from, but who they're targeting. And Nebraska goes out and gets a 6'10" transfer from Central Michigan, and for right now, without the name in front of me, I'm not going to attempt to try to pronounce his name.
No, it's hard.
But he's
from Lithuania.
He is. But what I'm going to say is I think there's an avenue for Berke to be an offensive aid. But I think what makes Berke really, really good, and we saw it early in the season, is his ability to move his feet defensively at his size. I think we saw that in non-conference play, that Berke defensively moved his feet really well for his size.
Yeah, he does. He's a good defender. Fred talked a lot about how his overall value, and a lot of it was that.
Yeah.
Berke will be in the starting lineup. Okay? Swim.
Well, I'm reading some reaction from the text line.
Berke will be in the starting lineup next year. Do you agree? Agree or disagree?
I think we can't answer that question right now with knowing what we know about what Nebraska needs to get in the portal. I mean, Nebraska's going to need. They have two, right? They already have two commitments in Price Sanford and the Central Michigan transfer that they got kind of in a surprise over the weekend.
Bill, they got two pretty good players.
They went and got that guy from Central Michigan without him even visiting Lincoln before.
Zoom call.
It was all virtual.
16. Yeah. I'm going to say 16.7 a game.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. All MAC. First team all MAC.
That's right.
Yeah, they got Fred went and got two pretty good guys so far.
And so that's where I'm intrigued to see what Nebraska can do in the portal the rest of the year, is like, or the rest of the offseason, is because as much as, and this is not me trying to be a Debbie Downer right after they win the crown and end the season on a high note.
It's the crown.
But it's at the end of the day, the ultimate goal for this year, we can't move the goalposts, as they say. And while, yes, it was a great feeling to end the year on a 4-game winning streak, the ultimate goal at the beginning of the year was to build off of an NCAA tournament appearance at the end. And this is a Nebraska team now that missed the conference tournament.
I understand that.
And so we can't just forget about all of that. And so now it's, how can you can. Well, you can.
I think it's going on. I think it's happening right now.
Maybe, but it's like, how can you then take the next step? How can you then take the next step? And it's got find guys in the transfer portal.
Absolutely.
I know. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And so far, so good on that count, by the way. Sanford can shoot it. He was 8.8 a game. He didn't shoot the lights out at Iowa.
He was over 40% from three, which and he fits
42%.
And he fits Fred Hoiberg's system.
Right. And this new guy they got, Bill, I haven't looked at film of him. I should have. I just know his numbers were good, and he was all MAC, and he's a big man. He was kind of maybe a better version of Andrew Morgan, maybe
6'10", 220.
Yeah. I just like the idea of that front line.
Somebody's played a lot of basketball. You like that part of it. 16 points is a lot. That's a big average.
Yeah, 16.
That's a big average. So that's impressive.
Yeah.
The thing you always just want to that is always intriguing that I don't know, and honestly, we really don't comment on it. And I don't think many other teams do, because I doubt that Illinois is commenting on who Nebraska's got in the portal. I have no idea what the other teams are doing to upgrade.
No.
I don't know right now what's Illinois doing. Everybody's doing it. So what's going on at all these other programs? What Purdue do? What Illinois do? What all these other places? What did they do?
Purdue is not very active usually. In fact, I don't know if they were.
Well, they are. This year they are. They got they got one of the top.
Okay.
Well, no, they got one of the top transfer portal commitments from South Dakota State. It was one of the best group of 5 guys to make the jump. The Boilermakers. So they got somebody from South Dakota State this year. Illinois went out and got the Jukonius or whatever his name was.
Jurevicius, they did not get the wide receiver.
No, they did not. From Tampa Bay. No, they did not.
But
his younger brother committed. He announced that, hey, I'm going to come back to Illinois, and his younger brother committed to Illinois as well. He's a 5-star. So there you have it in Illinois. But you're right. There's so many names. Michigan's doing some really big things in the portal. Dusty May.
I just wonder, what's Ohio State doing? What's Michigan? I don't know any of those things. I don't know.
But Nebraska is.
Carry on. Gotta grab
some. As now, Swim, that's an interesting part of the conversation the old men brought up over here.
Yeah.
There is sort of, I don't know, you can sort of lapse into this. See, Nebraska's great. Like
I guess, like, this
you can.
Once again, like, this is not me. I don't want to sit here on a Monday after Nebraska wins the crown, because it's a great achievement. Like, it is. And the 300,000, I always think about the Dumb and Dumber scene about the IOUs. Have you seen Dumb and Dumber? Where it's like, you can count it there. It's 250,000. You're going to want to hold on to that one. But anyway, that's what I envision Nebraska's doing with a suitcase full of money, or whatever the case is with the 300,000. Like, all of that's great. And as the texter pointed out, it was great advertisement for Nebraska. I have zero issues with the Crown. If you're not going to make the NCAA tournament, don't play in the NIT. There's no money in the NIT. Go play in the Crown. Go make some money. I'm all for it. But what I'm getting at is let's look at this factually of what next season could look like for Nebraska. And you lose a guy that just broke the single season scoring record. You lose
James Palmer.
Yeah, that's Bryce Williams, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You will move on from Juwan Gary, who was a big reason, if not the reason, that you won the Crown, more so than Bryce Williams at the time. Yeah, Bryce Williams has the 30-point games, and he's going to be the flashier of the two. But Nebraska won the game yesterday specifically. They came back from the 14-point deficit specifically because of Juwan and a couple other guys, but led by Juwan Gary.
Season 2.
And a season, right? Hit some big shots down the stretch.
He hit some huge ones, yeah.
But we can now, so you move on from those two guys, but it's so much more than that. It's Andrew Morgan. It's as I'm going down the list here.
It's right.
Now, obviously, Braxton Mia wasn't very involved towards the back end of the tournament.
Morgan's gone. Mia's gone.
It's still a body that you have to replace.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of usage that you're going to have to replace next season.
Mia, you'll have to replace. Morgan, you'll have to replace. Gary, you'll have to replace. Williams, you'll have to replace. Ulis, I think you'll have to replace Ulis. I think he's gone, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is. That's a lot.
And so
you get momentum. That's the question.
And yeah, how much? I think the question is, how much momentum can you generate from this?
I don't know. It's a tricky conversation. It really is. Do you get momentum from a tournament where you just beat a team in UCF that lost by 50 to Duke? I mean, that was what in the Big 12? What were they in the Big 12?
I mean, obviously middle of the road. So
or
here's this.
Not. You know,
here we go. We got this is some good text that I always enjoy mentioning. Who's this clown? Where's Jake? Just enjoy the damn win and worry about next year later.
You're talking sense.
Another one that says nobody thinks that, Nick. Just stop raining on their parade. The whole point of this conversation, is that it's fine. The whole point of this conversation is okay. Let's enjoy that win, right? How many times have I prefaced it with let's enjoy yesterday's victory because Nebraska did win a game and they won it in comeback fashion. But as we look back on this entire season, we encapsulate this entire 2024-2025 campaign that was led by Fred Hoiberg, is the fact of the matter, the truth is that there are some guys on this team that certainly need to get better because this was an up and down roller coaster type of a year that ultimately resulted in not an NCAA tournament berth, but they made the most of it. They
didn't make the Big Ten tournament.
They didn't make the Big Ten tournament.
Right. I mean, now this is what Bill was talking about. You don't want to live in a fantasy world. We tend to do it, and you can do it. Vegas is a nice place to live a fantasy. It is.
Yes.
Nebraska found they found a little spot in the world where they fit. You'd rather they fit in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll turn down the NCAA tournament next year to defend the crown.
No.
I mean,
we can't lose sight. We can't lose sight on what the goal is.
No, you can't.
But
I don't think anybody is.
You can no, I don't think so either. You can compartmentalize a little bit to where and both of these things can be true. Both of these things can be true. The first of, you know what? It's a little disappointing because Nebraska missed out on a couple of things, right? But then on the other side,
a couple of things.
I'm right there with you on that. Nebraska finished the season on a 4-game winning streak.
That's good.
After not winning for what it felt like the entire month of March before the Arizona State game. I was at every single home game to watch this epic collapse, unfortunately, of Nebraska basketball. But they made the most of it. And there is an avenue where Fred Hoiberg deserves a lot of credit for keeping this locker room together.
And they wanted to play. And then they went out and played hard. There's
100%.
There's a lot to be said for that.
100%.
There is.
So,
there's a lot to be said for the crown. I kind of enjoyed the crown because you didn't feel an obligation to watch. you just, it's the crown. And if you caught some of it, great. Like yesterday, I was kind of fading in and out. I saw the big run. But you didn't feel like if they're in the NCAA tournament, you'd be like, I can't miss a possession.
Yeah.
The Crown, it's the Crown. I mean, it's good. It's just kind of low pressure, even for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really required to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because it's the Crown.
Well,
it's not the tournament. It's not the big one.
This comes from one of the same texters, and this is fine. Like I enjoyed the Crown. I enjoyed the Crown a lot. I thought it was bizarre in its own unique way that we didn't expect.
It was
and the whole Gus Johnson garbage is certainly a thing.
Continually saying, well, we'll get to that in a second. Continually saying $300,000 on the line. It just feels like sometimes we're in this alternate universe. It's an odd world we're now living in. And the Crown fits pretty well in the odd world.
100%. We get this off the YouTube stream from BWD51. The whole point of the conversation is that, Nick, you are digging yourself a hole. Everyone else is trying to enjoy the victory. A 4-0 run, just enjoy it. We got another text from the same person that was criticizing me that I want to mention. Okay. We already reviewed the season the past 3 weeks before the tournament, so let's have some positive talk. Experience in a postseason tournament is good for young players. What young players?
Right, exactly.
Like that you just made our point.
Right, it's not 1999.
You just made our point of conversation in this. That 90% of Nebraska's best players next season probably aren't going to be playing in the Crown.
Right.
I love what Cale Jacobson gave Nebraska, and I think there's spots for Cale next season. He's not your starting point guard, though.
If he is, it's not.
And that's not a knock on Cale.
No, of course not. He's a role player. He's a role player.
As they just made our conversations, our points there. So you can get mad at us or mad at me, not even Sipple, mad at me because there's this new voice on the show. Jake's back tomorrow. Don't worry. You can get all mad. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you just made our point of what we're talking about with Barricade and with Essien and about the transfer portal. This is important because guess what? In the next 3 days, everybody's going to forget about the Crown, and it's going to be, what's Nebraska going to do at point guard? How are you going to replace the player that scored over 700 points this season? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do with Gary's Hart that's not going to be on the floor next season for the Huskers? Mm-hmm. What's it going to look like? You can enjoy the win, absolutely. And I'm doing it.
But what you're wondering is it meaningful momentum? Does it generate meaningful momentum? That's the question. And I would say it's possible. You do have some key guys back. You mentioned Burke and Essien and Sam Boydberg's back. There's some guys that can benefit, but I think it's proper and wise to not act like Nebraska just won the NCAA tournament. I mean, there's a balance to the discussion that's everybody could be reasonable about it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Just be reasonable. They made a nice run, though. They made a nice run in a tournament that was well done by Fox.
Yeah.
Fox really did a good job.
They found something that was going to drive players to play at the they did essentially what the NBA is trying to do.
Yeah.
They did essentially what the NBA is trying to do with like the whole play-in. It's just, hey, we'll give you money if you win games.
I don't know where Bill went. I got a quick question for you. We can discuss this later in the show. Bank this in your brain.
Yeah.
Can there be a college football Crown? College football playoff field is announced. Right afterwards, 18 field, college football Crown.
Well, you have to remember this is not even NIT. So that's where it's different. It's what tier of college football teams are you bringing?
If you do that,
the
next tier after the playoff.
Okay, so it'd be teams. What would they be? 13 through 25, essentially.
However you want to do it. However you want to do it, and some teams
13 through 20.
What you're going to ask, the proper question is, what do you do about the bowls?
Yeah.
Do people really even how much does that matter anymore?
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
There you go. All right. When we come back, we have a lot of stuff to get to still with the NCAA tournament. Bill mentioned it, and I wanted to kind of sit on it for a moment, but I wanted to wait, is that there's value in excitement better in playing the first game of the two Final Fours. And what I mean by that is everybody's talking about Duke's collapse. And if you're Auburn, nobody's talking about your collapse.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that when we come back. It's Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Make plans to stop by Corn Coast Brewing this Saturday, April 12th, for their Ales Helping Tales event, partnered with Parkview Animal Hospital. This semi-annual fundraiser collects donations and sells raffle tickets to raise money for Vets Get Pets, a program in the Nebraska Department of Veteran Affairs that helps with adoption fees for veterans. A special beer will be brewed, and the first 100 customers who buy the beer will receive a special edition Stadium Cup. That's all this Saturday at Corn Coast Brewing at 14th and Yankee Hill.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Pre-order your Hog Wild slow-smoked Easter ham today. Hog Wild selects the highest quality whole ham and slow smokes them until they're tender and delicious. Our 100% boneless ham is approximately 4 pounds and $50. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com. Quantities are limited. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown's Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Brown's carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets.
The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena April 18th through 19th.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Boyk Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Boyk Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at Boyk, B-O-E-C-K, farmoutfitters.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
We're on the air.
Back. Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break.
Simple, you are an idiot.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Early Break on the Ticket. Segment 2 sponsored by our friends at Ruleman's Steakhouse, the go-to place for a great meal in between Lincoln and Omaha, just off Highway 6 in Ashland. Make plans to join them for Easter brunch on Sunday, April 20th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with options like Cobb smoked ham, certified Angus beef prime rib, Belgian waffles, and so much more. Call 402-780-8887 to reserve your spot today, or you can email them at rulemanphillip@gmail.com.
I believe I saw, I may be off on this, Phil. I know you're a listener. If you're on the air, please let us know that the Ruleman brothers were at the Crown. The Ruleman brothers were at the Crown.
This?
I saw a photo.
This is fictional.
No, this is not. I saw a photo. I want to make sure this wasn't photoshopped of the Ruleman brothers in Vegas at the Crown.
Which brothers? Is it Phil and Paul?
Yeah, there's a couple others. There's more than
right.
Yeah,
there's a few
I think all the. So my first thing was, who's manning the shop at home? What's going on? How do I get the skillet cookie if everyone is
in
Vegas? Yeah, how does this work
at the Crown?
At the Crown. So, but I'm really feel high about this. In the high 90s that the Rulemans were at the Crown.
Probably
caught a flight.
Probably Phil's not listening right now.
Probably not. Probably might still be up.
Phil, and anybody
can anybody confirm that the Ruleman brothers were at the Crown? Because I believe I saw a photo of that. I'd like to get some confirmation.
I'm going to say this every day, by the way, and it's annoying to you, and I don't care. I'll get back there, Phil, and get some bourbon.
Get that bourbon.
Yeah,
yes.
I haven't done it. I told him I would, and then we scooted out of there. But there's some bourbon you can get from Ruleman's.
Yes.
I'll be right by Ruleman's this next Sunday.
I'm not going to ask you to do
by.
it. Yeah. I could just give him $80.
You could.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I still owe you a gift certificate.
How much?
30.
Yeah.
For the bowl game wager that we bet.
How did you make it this long without paying?
I know.
Yeah.
It's but here I am. I could just let you forget about it.
I would have.
I know.
What was the bet?
It was Michigan-Alabama's game.
Oh, and I said
you said Michigan, and I said Alabama.
Yeah. I said Michigan would win easily.
Yeah, which they did, and it didn't help.
You
that
bet
it was,
a gift card.
Rainy.
You decided on a gift card.
We did.
$30 gift cards that we went with.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
Steve won.
He did.
Nice. Sports.
Let's move on here. Let's move on.
Sports gaming
between interactive.
Yes. Hands on.
Bill's back on the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Made
Bill.
a return.
Made a return today. Yes.
Welcome back. Let's move on to the NCAA Final Four. What we saw on Saturday. Because Bill, I was saying this to Sip right before the commercial break that I was glad you brought this up in the first segment, in that the Auburn and Florida game was fascinating.
I think it was borderline ridiculous how good it was.
Yes.
I mean, it was like I'm watching it going, this is one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. Talk about head to head and when the 10 players in the movement, it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
What they looked like. It was absolutely insane. And there was a play swim, maybe put Florida up 3 or so. I don't even know who made the play. It was the most incredible dunk I may have ever seen. Almost did like a 3. I mean, it was a one-handed dunk off the break. Contested
by a Florida player?
By Florida. Yeah. It was about, what, a minute and a half to go in the game.
Right. Yeah.
But it was, I mean, but again, it got away in the waning seconds. That game was incredible. Matter of fact, it was what, a 9-point lead by Auburn?
You're right. That's exactly what I was going to say is it goes to show that if you're this is going to be real specific, the losing team in the first Final Four game, in the first game, you kind of get forgotten about. Because we all agreed, all agreed that the conversation now after this weekend is, oh man, can you believe Duke blew the lead? Well, how about the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, the Auburn Tigers, blowing a 9-point lead in the second half?
Yeah, completely shelled.
With 16 minutes in the second half, they blew a 9-point lead. Now, granted, it's the best of the best. Like the Final Four is the best of the best, and Florida give a lot of credit to them because they end up winning the game 79-73. So you're talking about it throughout the last 15 minutes of the game, a 15-point swing.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about how Bruce Pearl and Auburn, the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, they blow it in the Final Four.
They're not.
Janai Bruin, who's one of the best players in the country, right up there with Cooper Flagg.
How do you say his first name?
Janai.
Oh, it's not Johnny. Okay.
No, it's Janai Bruin. As he's one of the best players in the country, they're unable to get the job done in the Final Four, but nobody's talking about it because of how good the Duke and Houston game was.
They're really not. Because Duke has so much oomph in this country.
And it was one of the most incredible comebacks ever.
Yes.
It was an 11-1 run.
Yep.
To end it like that. I heard some today, which I didn't know this number.
Hold on.
With 13, I think it's like 13:28 to go. Cooper Flagg scored 2 field goals.
Yep.
That was it.
That's right.
They made 2 field goals from 13 minutes on, and the same guy. No one else scored a field goal.
It was one of the best.
Still well in control of the game.
Yeah. Duke led by 9 with 2:15 remaining.
Yeah.
See, usually you're watching a game, if a team's up 9 with 2:15, you're like, okay, I mean, this is over, right?
Oh, absolutely. There was most of the game, you're wondering why the game didn't go to the Duke's up 19.
Right.
I mean, it kept looking like the Duke's they're just gonna run away with this thing.
Down to 7 with 126. Still with 90 seconds, you're up 7. How do you blow that? It is down to 6 at the 42-minute mark. Again, the idea that Duke's season was going to end, you thought, no, they're not. Surely they're not going to blow.
No, it's. I'm going to say it's the most remarkable game that I've ever seen. This as far as interest level, because I'm watching it. I was watching it very.
I'm with you.
I'm not saying interested. I kept saying, come on. I kept telling my wife, maybe if they can get within 8. I go, but just. I kept saying, you know why Duke's winning? Because they're better. That's what I kept thinking. And then all of a sudden, it's like, this is what was going on was the most remarkable thing I've ever seen happen.
You. It was a 15-3 run.
Yeah.
Now, hold on.
To end the game, 15-3 run.
A 15-3 run over the final 2+ minutes. You give Houston a lot of credit. Now, Houston is really good. I mean,
yeah, they're really good.
They're freaky athletic, in my opinion. I mean, they're freaky.
Don't forget that and as the game is winding down, even, Houston gets a technical foul.
They did.
They slap a ball that's out of bounds, which is a correct
Ron
call.
would have went crazy.
But at that point in time, did you think there's any chance? Okay.
No.
I think Houston still got him. I think they're still okay.
I thought that was over. Did you see Sampson basically collapsed on the sideline when that kid did that?
Yeah.
But then talk to him, then talk to him and think about how happy that kid is today. He didn't blow it. Because at that moment when you saw him on the sideline, he looked like he was going to vomit.
Yeah.
Like he thought he cost them. Well, they fought back.
The big conversation, obviously, by everyone going into it was that Duke hadn't been in these moments.
Oh,
they've won. They'd won. So they won. There was one time they won about 10 games by 20 points.
Yeah. That's
right.
I
mean, they 10, 20 points. They're just rolling people off the court. Didn't have these moments that was going to happen. So that was always a conversation. So you heard everybody say, "Well, what's going to happen when they get into that tight one?" And then all of a sudden, and it didn't feel like this is going to be a tight one. And all of a sudden, it was. The play where I thought was the most bizarre was I don't know if Cooper Flagg made the 3 or 2 free throws.
Okay, go ahead.
And then he gets an incredible block at the other end with about 2 minutes to go.
He did.
And it's like this thing is over. It was just, I mean, the Duke fans are. I mean, it's euphoria at that time.
Duke was up by 6 with 32 seconds left to go in the game.
Right.
They were up by 6, and at that level, you expect the ability to make free throws, You expect, I mean, the
got to beat
turnovers.
the press.
Now, granted,
you got to beat the press
on a Houston free throw attempt. They call Cooper flag for a foul on the rebound attempt, and that hurt him, right? Because like the one thing that's gonna absolutely kill Duke in that moment, in that juncture of the game, is Houston being able to score with the clock stopped.
I thought it was interesting when they called the foul, which was a very questionable foul.
Yes.
Questionable,
definitely questionable. But my first thought was, I don't know if Houston's that excited about this. I think they would rather just had the ball.
Yeah,
the guy's shooting 62%.
He made them both.
He made them both.
Them both.
I'm thinking right now, he goes up there and clanks one. They get the ball back. I was like,
what a dude. Those dudes that do that.
60-some%. And he talked about how that guy makes 150 free throws every day.
And he went and nailed them in that environment. Yeah, that was incredible. Oh, by the way, we got to get the name of the guy who reached over the line. It's Mason Gillis. Mason Gillis is the guy who reached over the line and hit the ball. I had just a mental laugh.
Well, speaking of free throws real quick. So we mentioned the guy for Houston who was shooting 62%, steps up and makes 2 big ones in crunch time. On the other side, though, for Duke, Tyrese Proctor, who was 80% on the year, came in 5 for 10 in the NCAA tournament specifically and missed the front end of a 1-and-1 with like 27
there
seconds
is no
to
foul
go.
if he makes his free throw.
Yeah.
There is no. But the play that was the most interesting, I heard it talked about this morning for you guys, was the inbounds play. The inbounds play is what swung everything. And it was after a timeout. They just have to get the ball in. And this is where we need Schmuddy chime in. We need basketball.
Or I could chime
when
in.
you're playing face guarding defense, all the space that's open is down the court. So, but you can't let it get the ball. So they're face guarding everything. But the weird thing was after the timeout, Duke brought all 5 out of bounds player and all 4 into the front court. So you got all 10 people in the front court with incredible length and space. Why it wasn't cleared?
Shortage of space.
Why it wasn't cleared out?
I don't know.
And have more space for them. And then I heard this morning they're trying to get, who do they want to shoot the ball? They want Flag and Knipple to get the ball in case they get fouled to shoot the ball. Those guys are not lateral movement guys. They don't lateral movement well. Then there's the other conversation was real simple. You play it like a post-up play. You clear out and you let Flag have a chance for a lob pass over his head to be able to get to the ball.
What was the time and score at that point?
It was a 3-point game. They turned it over, kicked it out for a 3, missed it, got the rebound, slam dunk, 1-point game, foul, miss, free throws, boom. That's where the whole thing went down. If they get the ball in bounds, the odds of them winning are probably high 90s. Just get the ball inbounds with your possession, and it didn't happen.
No.
And that play will go down forever.
It will, and it was incredibly exciting. And by the way, the name of the Houston forward that made those 2 free throws, Jawan Roberts. He's a 6-year senior. Made both of those.
The
free throws.
inbounds pass came from a grad transfer from Tulane.
That's right.
And so it's like,
James,
has he ever been in a position? Because that is what is they were talking about that this would be like from the professionals that were speaking. The most important guy, obviously, when you have an inbounds play, is the inbounds pass.
Oh, 100.
He's got to have the clock in his head. He has to know if he has a timeout, and he has to know what and be the guy who enters the ball. And it was an errant pass, and even the plan. I can't imagine right now that in the end, it's like, well, this was our best plan to get the ball in bounds.
It is I think for young guys, it's a good lesson. You just don't quit. You just cannot quit. Even down 7 with a minute and a half left. Coaches all over America should show this game to their kids. Don't quit ever. Because we thought it was done.
I think it also,
and by the way, I agree with you. It was I can't remember being that excited about a game in a long time.
Oh, it's been forever.
I was sort of in disbelief.
Yeah. And then the look on, and then which I would have had. Who wouldn't have the look when they panned to Duke after that when they were behind by 1? Their faces were like they didn't know what to do. They're like it was like this will go down. I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a more epic comeback. There's been bigger ones. There's been bigger ones for numbers. Like teams have been down 22.
Yes,
but early, 16 minutes to go, 17 minutes
it's
to go
in the first half. But no, I'm saying that's and we've had this whole entire conversation without mentioning one name specifically, Kelvin Sampson. I mean, we have to give credit to Kelvin Sampson for the defensive adjustment that his team made. And I'm thrilled for Coach Sampson that he's finally going to get a chance to play for a title.
Mm-hmm.
His teams have come up short year after year after year.
Mm-hmm.
And now he beats what we all viewed as the juggernaut, I suppose, in the Duke Blue Devils. He beats them in the Final
Four.
The
juggernaut.
He beats them in the Final Four, and now there's just one more test away from him from capturing his first title.
And boy, is it going to be tough.
Yeah.
When you expend, when you expend what they expended physically and emotionally, that is, and then you match up. Okay, who do we got to play? Well, you got Florida, the SEC, and they got dudes.
Yep.
But anyway, it's still, like I said, the most incredible part of it. Also, like Swim just said, they made a dramatic change defensively. They were going after Cooper Flag and double team it, and he made him pay bad.
Yeah,
he passed the ball so well on the last the last drive. They went one-on-one. They did not take the ball out of his hands, and obviously would have been better to go to the rim for potential call. Sure, he got a really good look.
He got a pretty good look.
He got a pretty good look.
It was over Roberts,
and it was dead straight on. It just happened to be short.
I would say that it was Juwan Roberts guarding him, and he guarded him well on that play. This is what USA Today says is this is the second largest second half comeback in Final Four history.
Yeah, I'm talking last 2 minutes.
I think the emotional piece of being down by 7 with 41 seconds to go in the game is bizarre.
Yeah,
Bill would remember this in the 1963 championship game. You remember that? Just 63 championship game. Loyola Chicago rallied from 15 points down with 14 minutes remaining to beat. You remember the Cincinnati team?
Yes, that was a good team.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think that was Oscar Robertson.
Probably was.
It might have been.
I think one thing. I think one thing that we can also just appreciate from this weekend in both games is it lived up to the hype. Like we walked into it going, these are the two best and highest KenPom matches on paper. Now it's a matter of will it live up to that, and they certainly did. Both of them.
I was so perplexed by the first game. I was just in awe of what was going on. In the second one, I wasn't. I was like, that ain't Houston. Son of a gun. You're just in a jam at a place when you're eating with someone and you can't really. It was on in the back. The Florida Auburn game was on in the background. I could see the TV. It would be worth watching the last 8. Just watch the last 8 to 10 minutes of the Florida game. You would be. It was intense. You would be like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I could pick up the intensity.
Think about this one coming up too. Think about what that place is going to be like, because what happens is it's that dome. The Duke fans are out. They're not there. They're done. Auburn's checked out. So there's tickets to be had.
Hey, guess what?
And Houston's 2 hours away.
Guess what, Bill? You know who was there?
Yeah.
Marty. With his son. I could have been there.
If Marty didn't ask me, I would have went. I would have went.
Would you have went?
If Marty would have reached
Marty
out.
And his son Ben.
Yes.
Bennett.
We also have to mention Walter Clayton Jr. for the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
First consecutive 30-point games in the NCAA tournament since Larry Bird. So there you have it. He dropped 34. Walter Clayton Jr. for the Florida Gators.
From Iona.
So that's right.
Transfer.
There you have it. All right. When we come back, we have Song of the Day and Bill's Thrills coming your way on a Monday. It's early break on the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an advocate you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. trial attorneys you need, advocates you deserve. That's 877-42-LIBERTY or libertylawnebraska.com.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown's Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Boyk Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Boyk Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at Boyk, B-O-E-C-K, farmoutfitters.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers. Well, it's true for heart health, too. Sprinkling in a few small changes can make a big impact on your heart health. Try adding a vegetable to your dinner or no salt seasoning. Looking for support in making these changes? Join a workshop to learn more about a healthy lifestyle. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska for more details. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
but you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
He stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Watermelon Crawl by Tracy Bird, released in 1994. Any thoughts on Tracy Bird initially, Bill?
Bill is going to lead this off.
100 gallons of sweet red wine. That's a lot. It's a lot of sweet red wine. It's a one-horse town. A lot of things going on in Georgia.
Who's this Tracy Bird?
Tracy Bird. He found himself in an awkward spot and turned out to be really good. So I like that. I view it as background music, not really walk-up music. Interesting. If it's playing in the background, don't know. Don't see me turning it up. May not turn it off though. Type of is kind of there. Okay. 601.
Middle of the road.
Middle of the road. 601. 601.
I think the value goes up because it's sort of a public service announcement.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
Watermelon Crawl.
That makes you're right, Steve.
I'll
go 701 with the public service announcement.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a nice
guys, don't do that.
Right. And you can it's all encompassing.
It sounds like those guys at this town really have their act together.
Yeah.
They really do.
Do the watermelon crawl. Don't get a DWI.
Don't do that.
Right.
So
don't
I bet they have good food too.
Don't drive high.
Yeah.
Do the watermelon crawl.
There you go. What would you say, Sipple?
All right, I'm same vibe as Bill.
Okay.
It's kind of
folksy.
Yeah, it's
a little folksy,
quirky, funny.
Yeah.
I admire the attempt.
Not catchy in the slightest.
It's catchy.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
It's catchy and corny.
Okay.
You just got to decide is it more catchy than corny? Maybe. I'll just say in the same realm. 6.8555.
All right. Where do we think Ellie lands on this?
I think
guys?
Ellie's going to be in the 6'9s. Dad's going to be 6'4.
I feel like it's going to be a little higher than we expect.
Yeah, 6'9", 6'4.
Derek. Oh no, 5.2.
4. Okay. Yeah, didn't hit. Not a hit here.
Not a hit. The reason I chose this song specifically, I was out and about with friends over the weekend on Saturday, and do you guys know what touch tunes are?
Yes.
You guys know what touch tunes are? So this song was played over the Touch Tunes jukebox at the establishment I was at, and I thought this is perfect because I found myself bopping my head and singing along to it.
Did you?
The Watermelon Crawl. That's interesting.
So there it is.
Saying that's not happening with me. I don't know if that would be. I don't know if Watermelon Crawl would not. I'm saying it's 100%. If I heard it's like, hey, listen, Jake, you got to play this. Nick, if you get a chance to get a hold of Watermelon Crawl, wrap your arms around it.
But it was fine.
I still sang it. Let's get some reaction from the text line.
The text line,
please.
We'll start with this. Sandmaster kicks us off, says 6.7. Coach Luby says 8.88. We have John in Southeast Lincoln that says nope, it's a 2.0. Mike in Dalton says 7. OGCJ. Good job, Nick. Gives it an 8. Kevin in Centennial gives it a 1.
1.
We have Coastal Breaker that says great start to the week, 8.8. Bill in Bennett, 5.8. Lyle in Omaha, 3.1. We have who in Columbus?
Bird.
This gives it a 3. Old Dad, 34, says 9.34.
What happened?
Well, it's different.
Yeah.
Because Jake goes, who in Columbus?
Oh,
yeah.
You've changed that.
No, that's kind of been the staple.
Well,
it's who in Columbus?
Okay.
And then I go, Bird. So since you said who in Columbus, I said Bird.
So I appreciate that.
No, you're fine.
Husker Mike in Waterloo gives it a 7.5. Jennifer gives it a 4.9. Hubby with a 5.5.
Ooh, low.
They're getting along fine, but not very happy.
No. Sean in Omaha gives it a 1.0, says god awful. Swim, did you play that crap song another time? I did not. This is the first time I've ever done.
I think it's the second time we've played it.
I'm more taken away with this. There's one thing that that resonates with me right now is just you're sitting in an establishment, this song comes on and Swim's like, this is it. This is my song.
I thought it was catchy. I liked it a lot.
You were vibing?
Yeah.
I guess if you want to call it vibing, I was playing shuffleboard.
Yeah.
And I started bopping my head.
Yeah.
Arlington or Dallas?
No, where were you? I was in Lincoln. I was at.
We need to delve back into that. Why you were down there?
I was at 40th and Old Cheney.
40th and Old Cheney.
40th and Old Cheney.
Was there a text message you sent to Arlington from there?
No,
to
stop,
Dallas.
Guys. We're done. Jared in Nashville. Jared in Nashville gives it a 4.5. Jared in Nashville gives us 4.5. Beef tacos with a 4.3. It's
taco.
Like, he says, like drinking lukewarm water.
Yeah.
Front, we can't forget about our friends
Warm
on the
salt
YouTube.
water.
Can't forget about our friends on the stream. We have Chris gives it a 1. Nels in Montana says 8.5. Genghis Corn with a 5.3. We got Troy gives it a 4.1. BWD 51 gives it a 4.5. And last but not least, we have Bolt chiming in with a 5.111.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Definitely did not fare well, Swim.
No, that's okay.
Did not fare well.
It's easy.
That's fine. Let's
it's easy.
I thought it was good. I thought it was catchy. I'm gonna stand by that. I'm gonna say that you guys are in the minority here, even though all the texters will agree with you guys. Will agree with you guys. It's time for Bill's Thrills on a Monday. Bill, are you ready to roll?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom bonanza.
Oh, yeah. There's
we
going to
need
be
it.
bonanza.
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break.
That is right. Bill's Thrills, sponsored by Trade Us. If you have any questions about crop insurance or grain marketing, talk to the experts at Trade Us. Go tradeus.com. Football Fact Monday. Is that correct, Bill?
We're going to go sports.
Okay.
We're going coaching on this. I just throw a little
sport.
Something to talk about like that. Yes. You don't sign up for the fray of Groundhog Day. You don't sign up for the fray of Groundhog Day.
Okay.
And this is for all coaching. It'll resonate way more with Pearl and Bruce Pearl and way more with Shire. Is that you don't sign up for Groundhog Day, which the day after. You have no idea when people say, well, this one's going to stick with them for a while, this loss. No, it won't. It'll stick with them every single day for the rest of their life.
Ouch.
It's that kind of pain.
Ouch.
It really is that kind of pain. The mornings when you wake up after a loss of that magnitude it's just because everything goes to your mind. What if so-and-so makes this shot?
Ouch.
What if this happens? What if this happens? And you don't sign up for that.
Ouch.
You sign up for the long hours. You sign up for the strain, and then everyone tells you you're going to have rough days. And Coach Osborne tried to very diligently be like, Bill, I don't know if you want to get into this profession the way it's going. Now he didn't have it probably the inside of how it is now, but as far as like there's no family life. There's none of here's how it works. But you think of all the good things, and the relationships are insane. The part you don't sign up for is the pain. The relationships are so insane and how awesome they are and all the things that happen with them. And all coaches will tell you that you still think of your losses more than your wins.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, even if you're even someone that's had incredible success, you still think about those more. And I think about Shire on this one, just because it was so much, the game has so much magnitude. He'll have a team again. He won't have this team. Doesn't have this team ever again.
Nope.
He won't have the freshman. They had a freshman win player of the year. They have, whether all with what team's gone, what's going on with them, they'll never have this team again. And that's what's all you're like right now. He's on a flight somewhere. He's on a Zoom call recruiting. He's doing something. And all he can think through is those last 2 minutes of that game. What could I have done different?
Yeah.
What could so-and-so have done different? Did I call the right situation? Did an assistant coach make a great point to me and I vetoed it? Did I, whatever it is, you don't know all those things, but it's easy to say, well, pretty easy now. He's getting paid probably $5 million a year and he's got this going on. Life's pretty good. And right now, all you can think of is just because I know what that's like. I've felt that feeling. And I'm talking as an assistant coach. And also that's the thing that goes through when they talk about, all they talk about is Pearl and Shire and losing those 2 games. There's assistant coaches on those staffs that are just gutted.
Yeah.
Some that will never coach there again.
Yeah.
They're off to different jobs. They're off to different things that are going to happen. And so it's just an incredible, but it's also what makes it the greatest.
I know. There's a beauty in it.
There's a beauty. Exactly.
There's a beauty.
So I wanted to end with that. As I said, it's also beautiful.
Yeah.
You have that kind of, now, it's not like I said, the great ones never talk about this as like it's like war. It's like this. No, it's not. It's a game. It's not. It's not
like
the same. That people losing
hate it when
lives.
people
It's
use the word
It's
hero.
not. It's not horrific health situations. Any of
Hero's
that
not
stuff.
for
It's not.
sports.
It's like there's just something worse than this. Yeah, there's a lot of things worse.
Oh,
There's a lot of things worse. So don't. But it just the problem is that you as a coach, you'll get over it. You'll coach just fine again. You never get over it. You never have that time of it. And just think about the success that Gino has had at
Ariyama
at UConn.
Ariyama.
He's been to 24 Final Fours.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
He's 12-12. He's 12. He's lost 12 of them.
Mm-hmm. The most fascinating statistic with Gino is, and I was shocked when I read this, he hadn't won a title since 2016.
Oh God.
Yeah, been 9 years.
They've been there time and time again, and they just hadn't won the title in a while.
I didn't know that.
They had a dynasty in the early 2010s.
Right.
So, but like with because the reason I thought they described there was like a golf cart ride at like right before midnight where Flag was on a golf cart getting probably taken back to the locker room maybe from the press conference, and the other one was Shire and his wife, and the other and there wasn't a word said on that ride. There wasn't anything said with it, and you lose that game. It is different to lose that game by 20. If you lose by 20, you kind of go, other team was better.
Yeah,
they were better on this day.
Yeah,
we have to be better. Yeah. It's like that. Not when it's like, if we just get the ball in bounds. If we just get the ball in bounds, we're going to play again.
Shock. There's shock.
Yeah. So it's just
Proctor
interesting.
makes that free throw.
Yeah. To know what it's like. And then today, it's no better.
No.
Tomorrow, it's no
Really?
better. No. It goes on for a long, long time.
You know what I thought? I was thinking about this, and it actually plays right into your conversation, because you probably have a unique viewpoint on it. Is they fly home and that night, more than likely, and they're laying in their bed, they're in their apartment, and they're like, I feel like that's when it hits, like it truly hits.
Oh
you.
yeah.
Is you're back to your quote unquote normal life back home. You've been on the road the last couple of weeks. You've been going through the ebbs and flows of the NCAA tournament, and you realize we just played in the Final Four, and we just lost in the fashion that we did.
It's the probably hits you the most, at least for me. It's when you wake up. All of a sudden, it's like your alarm goes off.
Yep.
Your eyes are open, and you're like, that was real.
Yep.
That really happened. That really happened. Because I can remember that feeling much more than I can remember waking up after winning the national championship. I can remember that feeling, unfortunately, and that part of it stinks. But it's also, like Sif said, it's the beauty in the whole thing.
There's no guarantees in sports. I love that.
And so there's all these
no
things
damn
happen.
guarantees. I love that part of sports. That's what the beauty was, watching that game in your recliner.
But it's Groundhog Day. It's every day. It comes back to you. There, like I said, and the interesting part about it is, especially for assistant coaches and coaches, is there's games that no one even knows about that you lost that you still can't get over. So someone goes, "What? Why would that even matter in your career?" Well, it's like, yeah, I really haven't gotten over it. Northern Arizona, we lost to Montana. You're supposed to run a fake field goal, didn't run it. Would have put us up by 4. Would have probably won the game against number 1 team in the country at home, and we don't win the game. Yeah, and you guys remember it though, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, 1994 is awesome. No, I have zero knowledge
I didn't know Northern Arizona had a football
team. Yeah. The Lumberjacks. That's my point. Is it haunts you?
Right.
It haunts you. Think of the haunts that Nebraska got out of. I mean, tip ball, Turner Gill, missed field goal. In what 93, 94, 93 it was. Byron Bennett's missed field goal. Coach Osborne had 2 of those before he eventually got to those. Imagine those.
I was saying they brought it up on the text line, going for 2. Like, what? Think about going for 2. What was the feeling after that game and stuff?
That was
similar.
And the part that here's the part that gets you the most. When I mentioned at the end, he won't have this team again. The part that I guarantee that would haunt Coach Osborne would be that Turner Gill and Mike, those guys, Steinkuhler, they're the ones that didn't win it.
Right.
They were decorated. That offense that they had, that they were with their scoring explosion, they scored 84 points against a Big Ten team, against Minnesota. They were huddling. They huddled. There was no tempo.
Right.
That's how they were averaging like 50-some points a game when things were going slow pace. And guess what? The other side did. They ran the ball too, and they huddled. And yet they came up. It's just like, it's just those things, they haunt you.
Oh, I know.
And but also at that, it's also awesome. It is a great to be on the other end of the things, and the part that
there's a
goes with it.
chance that there's going to be a lot of pain.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah, but that's the part that it never deters you. It never deters you. The pain never deters you. And then all of a sudden, then you're in it and you're going, okay, I know what they're talking about now.
Some of what drives you is pain avoidance. You don't want to. Losing's hard.
Yeah. We have a couple things from the text line. Eric says, Bill, we don't talk about the strain anymore.
The strain, that's Bob Diaco.
I know it is. I know. I remember he always held the lapel mic. He always held it.
Yes.
He never actually clipped it on. I'm not sure. Never clipped it on, just always held it.
Yeah, always
held it in front of him. We got a lot of stuff to get to. That's been a great Bill's Thrills on a Sports Monday. Sports. Hour number 2 is already underway, but we officially started up in a few minutes. Husker football. They a little bit of news over the weekend from head coach Matt Rule. We dive into it. Nick Sainer, Steve Sipple, Bill Bush. We'll be right back on Early Break.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and my schedule can get a little hectic. From softball practices to going to class, traveling for games, spending time with family, and catching up with friends, I am always on the go. I want a bank that can help me from anywhere, but also be there when I need them. That's Midwest Bank. They have the same mobile banking technology as those big banks, but have that hometown feel that I like every time I walk through the doors. They make banking easy no matter where I am. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Boyk Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Boyk Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at Boyk, B-O-E-C-K, farmoutfitters.com.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands, and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and my schedule can get a little hectic. From softball practices to going to class, traveling for games, spending time with family, and catching up with friends, I am always on the go. I want a bank that can help me from anywhere, but also be there when I need them. That's Midwest Bank. They have the same mobile banking technology as those big banks, but have that hometown feel that I like every time I walk through the doors. They make banking easy no matter where I am. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Bush.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans, so I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back in. It's hour number 2. It is 7:32 in the morning here on a Monday. Oh, appreciate you guys spending
Just
it
barely
with us.
starting the 7 o'clock hour.
Here we are.
7:32.
Hour 3.
Hour number 2 is sponsored by Midwest Bank, member FDIC. Locations in South Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane, and also at 70th and Pioneers. Bill, what's going on with Shin Daddy?
Shin Daddy's off today. He always, whenever Jake is off, Shin Daddy's off.
Okay.
And so whatever time that's so he knew this months in advance because Jake let him know. Jake let me know on Friday that he would not be in attendance on Monday. Jake let me know Friday.
Was it Friday or
yeah, because he knows I have a meltdown. I don't handle change well.
You do not.
And he knows that. But anyway, Shin Daddy was made aware of this in January that he'd be gone.
It's not, it has nothing to do with the national championship game tonight.
Nothing with the national championship game tonight. No, it just so they've worked a deal out that Shin Daddy vacations in conjunction with Jake.
He needs a day off.
So he has a day off like that. So he'll be shut down. Will not be doing any banking either. He's off.
He's shut down.
Yeah, he's shut down for the day.
He's kind of wear a robe all day.
Just wear a robe around the house. Yes.
So I will say this. I want to bring this up just because to light a fire and potentially start a fire for when Jake does come back tomorrow.
Okay, I'm interested.
Firestorm.
Are you aware that there's a week in May where Jake will not be here?
Did not know that.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, Jake, this is interesting. Yeah, this is first thing I heard about this. Yes.
Well, there's a week in May where I will be with you guys. Yeah, it's like Friday through Friday.
Oh,
what
wow.
part of May?
I think I believe it's the first week of May.
Oh, coming right up.
Coming right up.
You know, there's a lot of times where Jake has put my business, he put my St. Patrick's Day business out on the air without me being here to defend myself. And here I am going to tell his business.
But Jake's never talked about the new relationship.
There's
Arlington.
nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Sure.
I'm positive.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and dive into Nebraska football. Husker football. Matt Rule mentioned over the weekend that Hardly Gilmore IV is no longer with the program. The wide receiver that transferred from Kentucky with obviously Dane Key is in that group. DeKel Shorts, the wide receiver coach is in that conversation as well. But Hardly Gilmore IV no longer with the team.
Yeah, I mean, team violation of team rules.
Nothing criminal.
He was dismissed from the team. Dismissed.
Yes.
So that's it. Lockers cleared out last week. He's gone. Sometimes
I always love that one. The locker's been cleared out.
It's like no going back.
Just like if anyone trying to say, locker's been cleared out. I don't care what team it is, what sport it is. It always kind of intrigues me how that is reported.
It is Hardly Gilmore, pretty high profile transfer portal pickup.
4-star.
Yeah, he only had 6 catches at Kentucky, but there was a lot of there's a lot of projections. I mean, a lot of people projecting him to be maybe even a starter. So it's not a small loss. There is a conversation that goes along with this. It's sort of interesting, and that is,
well, it was brought up by several of friends of mine asked this. Then I saw it on a social media post when this came out.
Some sort of social media
and
post.
it was like, well, what happened?
Right.
And then it's like, well, it's violation of team rules, and that's always been the standard.
Yeah,
and I agree with that. That's what it is. Violation of team rules. I handle it in house. We're in charge of that. That's what we do.
He's a kid,
but so that's just how it is. But now it's different because the reason it's looked at differently. When my friend said is like, hey, 1890 people like that, they all want our money. We've donated, so we donate money to help with NIL. To help to obviously he came here with an NIL package.
He did. That's the only way he was coming.
The only way he was coming here was
he wasn't coming here to play for free.
Yeah, NIL package came involved. So now, now it's different. They're like we'd like to know what happened.
Is it okay? Now, just devil's advocate. Is it different?
Well, I would always be on the side of the coaches of no, but you surely can see a fan's perspective.
It's hard to say that it's not different now.
Yeah,
when there is, just listen to coaches, and not so much. Now, Matt Rule's not overt about it. No, Fred, not totally overt, but coaches literally ask for money now. Athletic programs ask for your money. Now, when something happens like this, maybe is there more of an explanation that's deserved?
I would always, like I said, I'm always going to side heavily coach side, but I sure see why a fan would be like, you know what? When
what
people
happened?
are asking, and maybe not, and not the certain fans of, and you can't separate it. There's some fans that don't do anything, which is fine. I mean, there's some that don't contribute, and there's some that contribute a lot, and it's kind of like, well, what's going on? Or we do it here on the show, and we've done a great job during this show on 1890 of fundraising. We've done a great job with Davison on here, and brought in money. And so people have donated. So breakers have donated. So the best way would be to ask the breakers, the ones that have been involved, and say that what do they text in and say? Because that's what my friends were saying. It's like it's a little bit different now. I kind of like to know what the details are.
Take it to another level. This is Hardly Gilmore. He hasn't played here. We established he's high profile. But what if it was an established high profile starter that is making $500,000?
Yeah,
and we know that. We know what he's making. Basically.
Yeah.
And then what? Then see, that's when the conversation gets a little more interesting.
Oh, it does. It gets very interesting because
now what if that guy's making $500,000 and all of a sudden he's out, but nobody's explaining anything?
Yeah. And that will happen.
It will happen
across the country.
You
hope it doesn't happen here, but there's going to be times, just like there's times conversation also that this has nothing to do with someone being removed from the team. But then there's fan bases now will be upset when all of a sudden they know that someone on the roster has a big paycheck, and they're not playing, and they're not in. It's like you start looking around, going, "Hang on now, everybody here wanted my money. They wanted this to happen like that because we need this guy." You know how many times it's probably happened where someone has had the behind door conversation of, we need this guy, and he didn't pan out at all. And someone says, okay, all right, okay, we need him. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll get away. We'll put something together. And all of a sudden, it was an epic fail.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm not saying gonna. It has.
Yeah.
Across the country. There's no way you go to other places and be like going, hey, have you had any failures with NIL? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we sure have. We sure have. And that's going to happen in business. There's going to be, it's like there's, you got to expect losses in big operations.
But
it's going to happen.
Does the conversation just go beyond, paid him a lot of money and he failed?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. It doesn't go beyond that very much.
Where it goes beyond it a little bit is if it happens too often, there's going to be people that say, wait a second, I'm not. You just can't. You can't have it happen too often, or people will back off on donations. You can't. You can't. Right.
Well, I was going to say if it continues, if it starts a trend of where it's happening and you're failing time and time again at identifying evaluation,
right?
Then it goes on the coaches. I don't know,
or the general manager.
Yeah, or the general manager. I don't know if we're going to ever be in a world where people just stop donating. I think instead they're going to call for change.
Yeah.
I think that's the more likely
involvement. But at the same time, what you don't want,
that's a good point.
From the coach's side, you don't want to have happen is it's like, okay, I got to explain all this stuff. Because if you're going down that rabbit hole, you have to explain every time that there's something that comes up and then I cannot run my program. And I have to, so here's what happened. He's done something that should have him off the team. Don't kick him off the team. I don't want to answer to it.
No.
I don't want to have to answer to it. It was don't play him. Don't do this. Don't do anything. I'm not going to say a word because all of a sudden you kick him off the team. It's like, well, hang on now. We know what happened here. What happened this time? Well, then because after a while, I'm going to say, don't kick him off the team. I don't want to answer to this stuff. This is a bad look on us because
you can't have that.
You can't have that. And these happen all the way across the board. And it's like you said, if me, I'm not so much nervous, but you hope this pans out really well with our new center from Central Michigan, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Oogie. Okay.
Let's call him Oogie. Okay. He's from Lithuania.
Which is awesome. From a Zoom call while the guys were out in Vegas. So let's think about that. There's an investment in him, and it's off of a Zoom call. So you're based it off of hopefully what did the staff tell you? What do you know about him? All those things. I want you to think about that because a lot of times in recruiting, I might have known a guy for 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And they've known this guy for about a week.
Maybe. It's possible they knew about him.
Yeah, may have known about him, but just, I mean, how deep is it?
I don't know.
But that's not Nebraska. That's the world.
That's the world.
That's everyone. That's not a deal. And so, but that makes it hard. And everyone's in the same boat. Is that with things happening as fast with what's going down?
I think it's interesting because, I mean, Matt Rule mentioned it a couple of days ago, or maybe now a couple of weeks ago at this time, about the whole revenue sharing thing, and people don't know what's all the details, what's the finite, or the minuscule details that are going to know. I think there's this overarching thought of and hope that it just provides complete transparency, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the closer we get to it, the less confident I am also in that there's going to be transparency on details like this, right? Because
I don't know. Isn't there still a matter of privacy on some of this stuff that I don't know.
I don't know. I would ask how much privacy is, and Bill, you might be able to answer this better than anybody, of how much privacy is there in the NFL when we're having these type of conversations.
Well, I don't think everything that goes on behind closed doors in the NFL gets out. Right?
Certainly not. No, but if somebody gets thrown off the team, contract situations, like, and where does the CBA come into play? Like, there's so many other details that I just don't know if the NCAA and college football is going to be able to figure out in time.
Yeah, the only thing, like I said, because it's just so far removed, but it's the only way you can ever have hope is that eventually there is a true cap that everyone involves underneath, because that's what it was before. But it wasn't
a salary cap?
It was like, hey, what did they have before? 85 scholarships. That's your deal. And then was there something else? Other teams doing things up above and beyond that? Because some teams tried to make that up with facilities. That was their answer. Hey, it's going to be a facilities war, and we're going to have the best system there is possible. So now it's like, okay, now we can pay. So how does everything ever get legal if all of a sudden there's certain places that just have more money? And there's certain places that just have certain things going on. I mean, the one that's the most scary is in Texas. I mean, oil money. I mean, there's a lot of money there. It's the money's not the same at Alabama as what it is at Texas.
No,
in A&M, it's not the same. And that was
better at A&M.
It would scare you to death. If you're at Alabama, you're like, whoa. How are we going to pull this off? How are we going to do this
against A&M?
Yeah, and then I mean, and I know, maybe A&M hasn't been a factor, but now all of a sudden things have changed different. When you have, they paid a guy $77 million to go away.
Yeah,
to fire him. $77 million.
Great coach though,
Jimbo. Bill, the 3 words that you don't want to hear in IT are what?
I've been hacked.
That's right. And you can avoid all that with our friends at Applied Connective Technologies. They're in all 93 counties in Nebraska and manage all things IT. It's truly a one-stop shop. Get a free consultation today at appliedconnective.com. So once again, Hardly Gilmore IV, no longer with the Huskers, dismissed from the team per Matt Rule on Saturday. I'm sure in the next couple of segments or coming days as well, we'll talk about how that changes the wide receiver room, if at all. But, we don't want to talk about that too soon. Enjoy the moments while we have them.
Enjoy the moments.
Enjoy the moments while we have them.
Enjoy the crown. See
yes.
That? You can see
enjoy
the crown.
Enjoy the crown.
Champions.
When we come back, we definitely want to get to. We talked a lot about the Final Four. We also want to preview tonight's game again between Houston and Florida. Who's going to win that one? Who do we see winning that one? We still want to kind of reshape that conversation that we had in the first segment about the crown.
The crown.
We want to reshape that conversation into a different angle. So we'll do that over the course of the next hour and 15 minutes or so. But we'll come back. Early break on the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Midwest Bank. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and my schedule can get a little hectic. From softball practices to going to class, traveling for games, spending time with family, and catching up with friends, I am always on the go. I want a bank that can help me from anywhere, but also be there when I need them. That's Midwest Bank. They have the same mobile banking technology as those big banks, but have that hometown feel that I like every time I walk through the doors. They make banking easy no matter where I am. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Boyk Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Boyk Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at Boyk, B-O-E-C-K, farmoutfitters.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently. Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text the word HOME to 402-534-1919. That's HOME to 402-534-1919.
Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Before we preview tonight's national championship game, quick plug for our friends at Halo Custom Lights. Be the star of your neighborhood with getting permanent custom lights through HaloCustomLighting.com, a partner of Neiman & Sons. All right, guys, before we get to the game show, we need to give predictions and talk about tonight's game. We talked a lot about the Final Four on Saturday, how it lived up to the hype, how both Florida and Auburn and then Duke and Houston, incredible matchups for your Saturday afternoon viewing pleasure.
Houston, what's the line on this game?
Tonight, though, it is the Houston Cougars and the Florida Gators. The line tonight, as I bring it up real quickly, the line tonight is Florida by 1.5. Both teams come in with a 35-4 record on the year. I mentioned it. Walter Clayton Jr. has had consecutive 30-plus point performances for the first time since Larry Bird. You have Baylor transfer LJ Cryer leading the way
for the Houston Cougars. How do you guys see this one going out tonight?
I don't know. That's a great matchup, right? I don't know if they'll guard each other, but those two are they're pretty similar players, right? Cryer and
yes.
Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, what an incredible game. Obviously, I feel I picked Florida back in January on kind of a whim, and so I'm kind of obviously that's what I'm going to stick with for prediction wise. But like I said, Houston, can you count them out? Nope, you can't. The size and the athleticism on this court tonight will be remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
It will be absolutely remarkable when you see the movement and the size of the bodies that are doing it. It'll be like,
Greg Peterson of ESPN. Now, this would be more expert analysis than we can probably give. He says Florida might have the most versatile style of play in the country. Many teams would have a difficult time with the way Houston slows games down, plays at a bottom 10 pace. Didn't know that. But the way Florida played the likes of Tennessee and UConn earlier this season shows it can slow down and win from within, take the Gators.
And think about this. UConn 2-point game and Texas Tech. I mean, Texas Tech's meltdown, their coach is having the same Shire meltdown. I mean, they had the game. They had the game won. They missed 2 free throws, two one-on-ones.
They were way up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what? But then then you hear this like, hey, take Florida to win it all. It's like, Florida's lucky to have beaten UConn and Texas Tech. Really lucky to have got, not lucky, but very fortunate things that they played so well down the stretch to be able to beat Texas Tech. So I think you're looking for an epic game. I think the hardest thing to overcome, I saw when I was at Wisconsin, and we'd played and beat Kentucky. Remember, Kentucky was undefeated. I think they were 38-0, and Wisconsin beat them in the semis. And then I think it was Duke when they played in the finals. They were worn out.
Yeah,
this game would be a wear out game. And can you imagine the thousands and thousands of text messages every player's got? All these. I mean, the attention to that game is
Florida
enormous.
have to exert though too? Did Florida have to exert?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were down by 9 at one point.
Yeah, but do I think there's a different exertion? Yes, I think it's different because of the epic comeback. I think it's a different style.
Houston is exerted more.
Yeah, and then when the game was over too, and then also I said, I don't think it's a huge factor, but the game got over 4 to 5 hours later than the other game got over,
yeah.
And so they're getting back to their hotel. I mean, that rest and that's going on is very, very difficult for them. And so we had that big conversation. I thought about this last night because we hate, at least I do, and most of us do, Monday night championship games. We wish
7:50 tonight.
It was on. We wish it was earlier. Wish it was on Saturdays like that.
Yeah.
Or the next thing is, people are going to stay. Have the championship game on Tuesday. Give them an extra day.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing. They're getting back to their hotel at probably 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
The last game. Go back to their hotel 2 a.m. Had something to eat. Why not just say, you know what? People stick. If the game was on Tuesday, you know what would happen? It'd be full.
Yeah.
Trust me, it'll be full. And so why not give them one extra day to make sure that they have fresh legs for the biggest game that there is? I'm not a fan of the Monday game, and I'm not a fan of just the 2-day layoff.
7:50 tonight on CBS. The over/under is 141.5.
Which is about a 72 to 70 game.
Yep.
Which feels low.
Feels about right though.
Yeah.
Feels about right.
I think one thing that's fascinating is just the coaching matchup. On one side, it's Kelvin Sampson. We know so much about him. But then on the other side, it's Todd Golden, who came from the University of San Francisco a couple of years ago. He's in his 3rd year with the Florida Gators, steadily improved every single year. Can become, think about in the early 2000s under Billy Donovan, the talent that Florida had on their roster.
Oh, God.
They won 2 titles with Billy Donovan. No other coach. They've had 19 other coaches. No other coaches won a national title. You're talking about in 3 years, Todd Golden could become just the 2nd coach in Florida Gators history.
Wow.
And a lot of people are forgetting also that in the early parts of this season, he was part of a Title IX investigation.
Oh, yeah.
They've gone through everything, where then in January, they found no evidence that he violated Title IX stuff. So he got through that. But it just the potential storylines of, can Kelvin Sampson finally capture one on one side? On the other side, it's quickly into his tenure. His first season at Florida, he was 16-17. That was their overall record just 2 years ago. Now, 2 years later, can they win the national title?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Quick turnaround.
Let's
It
play.
can happen.
I guess here, Sip. Who's your pick for tonight?
I like Florida. I mean, I'm not going on much though. I'm not the expert in this. I've watched the tournament, not a ton of it. I only saw Florida for a half. I want Houston to win, but I something says Florida. Don't listen to me. It doesn't make any difference.
Florida looked like, so when I made the choice, they're going to win it all in January. I didn't think they'd have a 2-point win over UConn, and I didn't think they'd have to make a I mean, I'm watching that game thinking it's almost the same. There's no way that Florida's going to come back and beat Texas Tech. Right. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And they did. And so they've had 2 games where you go, and the Auburn game, they're down. I mean, they've not been rolling through people.
No,
they have not been.
We need to say this though. These teams are extremely good. I mean, it is amazing to watch Houston play.
Let's hit on one more thing too. The buffoonery. We got to get to 76 teams. All 1 seeds went to the Final Four, but we got to get another 8 teams in this bad boy. That's what we need. We need 8 more teams to get involved in this.
The only way it would make sense is that nothing makes sense anymore. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think
to just give us another example of April Fool's Day, because something happens, like you said, every day. Every day we are going, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because nothing makes sense. So go ahead and do it.
And I think on that point, real quick, is that this NCAA tournament illustrated what maybe it's going to look like in the future. Not that every single year all 4 number 1 seeds are going to get in.
Know that, yeah.
However, what I'm getting at is that there might be fewer and less exciting early round games, but late in the tournament, it is going to be electric.
Yeah. Oh, and it has been, like Bill said.
It has been
since the Elite 8. It's been phenomenal.
It's been phenomenal.
And you know what? Jake would kill me for saying this. I like that better.
So you didn't want LaSalle.
I don't care.
You don't want an FAU to make the Final Four.
Well, that was fine.
Okay.
No. I want to make a distinction here. Okay. I don't mind when a lower seeded team keeps rolling,
the Cinderella, if you will,
and because at some point then it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
But no, the first round fluke. Listen, it's fun, blah blah blah, but it doesn't mean that much because they're going to lose. But when a team like FAU keeps rolling, that's not a fluke. That means something.
Butler went to the finals twice.
Yeah, that wasn't a fluke.
That's not a fluke. They went to the finals twice.
They were good.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying when a not so good team beats a good team, I'm not that fired up about it. Just
But
fluke.
it's interesting because the avenues are different. Nebraska's obtained a player they wouldn't have obtained 6 years ago. That wouldn't have happened. Florida has a guard they wouldn't have obtained 6 years ago.
100.
And
100.
so there will be some difference there. But at the same time, you're going to see some players, like I said, you saw what Drake did when they took a bunch of Division II guys up, and it's like, oh, it worked out pretty good for them.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good deal.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's time to play the game show.
We're late.
We are late. It's time to play the game show, though. We talked about the NCAA tournament Final Four. How about the Crown Final Four? Players that participated in the Crown's Final Four. Now, I'm going to give you the name of the player. You tell me what team they played for. These are all layups.
No, they're not.
No,
yes,
they're not.
they are.
I don't know anybody.
All four of these answers.
Not for me.
Are any of them Nebraska?
They are not Nebraska.
Okay, that's what I needed.
That gives you 3 chances. 33.3% chance repeating every single time. All these players are in the top 2 scorers on their team.
I don't know any of their names.
That's all right.
That's
okay. That's all right. We'll see how this goes. Shut Up Simple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Alrighty. Game show today. Players from the Crown's Final Four. We are joined by JR on the line. JR, how do you feel about players in the Crown's Final Four?
I feel about 33.3% repeating.
That is right. No Nebraska players on this. No Nebraska players.
That'd be incredible. Juwan Gary.
Who does Justin Bolus play for?
We have a great chance to get this because
I don't know any of their names. And I watched. And I paid attention.
But you should be able to just guess too.
Guess,
yeah, right. All right. First question to you, JR. What team does Jordan Ivy Curry play for?
UCF.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong button. Wrong button again. There we go. Let's try it again. The fourth time is a charm, JR. JR leads at 1-0.
That guy had 29.
Yeah.
yesterday.
He averages 14.5 on the year.
Yeah. I would have had that one. I really would have.
Okay. So there we go.
The one we had.
Glass half full mentality. All right. Simple. What team did Wooga Poplar play for?
I don't know, Bill.
Think about the Final Four.
If you're guessing, just let me guess.
Wooga Poplar.
Well, I'm going to say this.
WOO.
I'm going to go with this. I'm going to say Swim didn't put 2 UCFs back to back. So I think it's 50-50. Take it, Steve.
Or maybe I was fooling.
Wait a second.
Guys.
So it's okay. I'm going to say it's Boise State.
Is it Boise State? It is not. JR, would you like to steal that one?
No, but I would have guessed Villanova.
You would have been right if
you
would have guessed Villanova.
All right, that one.
JR, this is for the win. We can make this real quick here.
So Villanova was in the Final Four.
Yep. Villanova was in the Final Four. JR, for the win, what team does Tyson Dagenhart play for?
Get it fired up, Nick. He plays for Boise State.
That is right. It is right. He plays for Boise State. That was the quickest game show in the game show's history there. Tyson Dagenhart, 19 points a game. That was great. I thought that was going to go a little bit better than that. JR, congratulations. Stay on the line. You win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe.
Shut up, Sippo.
There it is. There's JR.
Yeah, we deserve that one. We deserve that one.
I did not expect you guys to get one wrong. I'll be 100% honest. I was going for the tiebreaker here. It was a 50-50.
Okay, well, congratulations to JR. What does he get?
He gets a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe.
Full box.
Would you like to hear your second question?
Yes, Bill.
Sure.
Handle this one.
What team does Eric Dixon play for?
Villanova.
That is correct. It is Villanova.
Brilliant.
I gave you guys. He is one of the best scorers in all of college basketball. Scores about 25 a game.
Villanova.
So Eric Dixon does.
Was Villanova close to making the NCAA tournament?
Not
really.
Not the NCAA tournament. You remember that they fired their head coach.
Oh yeah, Neptune.
Neptune. Yep, they fired their head coach. They hired the whole Kevin Willard drama there. But they did take UCF to double overtime, I believe, in the semifinals.
Memorable.
It was a 104-98 UCF win.
Memorable.
So the tiebreaker. This one's for you, Bill.
Okay.
What was the attendance for the Crown Championship Sunday for Nebraska and UCF?
This is hard because it's always inflated.
It always is. What was the
4,619?
What would you say?
Number.
4,619.
I'm gonna say officially under.
It was under 3,314.
Not bad.
So probably more in the twos when it actually went into the building.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It looked like it was a heavy Husker based.
Oh,
like that.
You wouldn't expect a lot of people from Orlando for that.
Yeah. You guys catching the flight out
for UCF?
For UCF.
Oh, there you go. Well, okay, that game show is great. It's time to move on. Hour number 3 is up next. We got a lot of stuff to go to. Mozzarella Mondays coming up as well.
That's a big day.
Get those ready for you out there on the Starter Heyman text line. All that coming up in hour 3 of Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Midwest Bank. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table. Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln. Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family-owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Now's the perfect time to get even stronger at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join today for just $1 down, $15 a month. Mix up your routine or create a customized workout plan with free fitness training. That's right. Certified trainers, unlimited sessions with best-in-class equipment. Plus, there's over 2,700 convenient locations to choose from, with most open 24 hours. Save $28 or more today when you join Planet Fitness for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends April 11th. See Home Club for details.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late.
It's time for Early Break, presented by Nebco. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I like Stone.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
And here comes a sandwich from God.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Bush.
Hey, somebody grab me a mocha quick, would you?
This is Early Break.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3 of Early Break on the Ticket. Nick Stannard in for Jake Sorensen as Jake is making his way back from New Mexico. Hour number 3 sponsored by Nebco. Now hiring jobs with ready-mixed concrete. Check out nebcoinc.com for more information. Bill had to unfortunately step out, so just Steve Sipple alongside. And Sip, I think as we enter hour number 3 here at 8:15 in the morning, I think it's important for us to maybe continue our conversation that we had in the first segment that ruffled some feathers a little bit regarding Nebraska men's basketball. Sorry, hold on. You might want to turn on your mic. I might want to turn on your mic. I'm sorry about that.
It's a tricky conversation.
It is. It is. And I think part of this conversation, though, is the fine line of enjoying what was accomplished yesterday without sacrificing expectations. And I think it's also important.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I think it's also important to acknowledge and get out in front of that we are not going to agree. Like, no, not everybody's not going to agree.
No, I have found, can I say something? I have found in this discussion that it's about 50-50. I mean, I encountered people in my life that were like, Sipple, it's the crown, okay? It's not, this is a joke. Then I encountered people that said, no, they're about to win a championship.
Yeah.
And they played for something. And where I come down on it, the most positive element, Nick, where I come down, if I'm spinning it positive, I start with the fact that they wanted to play.
Yes.
Because there are teams that bow out. A football team here bowed out of a chance to play a bowl game a few years ago. And I was all over them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to respect those guys on that team, mainly Bryce and Jawan, Sam, other veterans that wanted to play, and not only wanted to play, they went out and played their you-know-what's off.
I also thought, I think we need to, in speaking specifically for the Crown, we need to give Andrew Morgan his due as well. I would include him even more so than like Sam. I would include him in the Bryce and Jawan conversation, just from the Nebraska basketball standpoint of they didn't have a big man that they could rely on. This team, this program, this staff asked a lot of Andrew Morgan down the stretch because Braxton Mia was non-existent, and probably rightfully so, because Nebraska wasn't. It never fit with Braxton Mia, unfortunately.
Not very well.
And it didn't fit what I think Fred Hoiberg wanted to do offensively. I don't think Braxton Mia moved well enough defensively to where it was like, okay, you can look past the offensive
I don't want to say ineptitude, the lack of offensive ability with Braxton Mia. I think it wasn't like you could look past it to say, well, we want his presence out there on the floor, on the defensive side of the floor. Berke went through his own struggles, his roller coaster of a year. The one consistent big man was Andrew Morgan.
And he wasn't all that.
And he wasn't all that consistent. But in the Crown, when it mattered most yesterday, he had himself a nice day. It wasn't anything special. It was 8 points, a couple of rebounds, some 4 assists. That assist number is the one I look to, though, because in the last 3 years of Fred Hoiberg, and this can now be translated into a next season conversation too, what has all of those successful teams had in common? It's a big man that is able to facilitate from the center of the lane near the free throw line and distribute the basketball. Fred Hoiberg's offenses are best when they have that, whether it was Derek Walker a couple of years ago, whether it was Rink Mass last year, or what we expect to be the next year. What didn't they have this year for a bulk of the season, which their offense was stagnant 99% of the time? It's because they couldn't get the ball in and out of the lane. There was no inside-out game. There was no facilitating from anybody on the floor. Raleigh Wooster wasn't that when you wanted to bring him in for that specific reason. It was Bryce Williams creating, and it was Juwan Gary trying to go to the bucket. And Nebraska struggled at times with it. But yesterday, I thought Andrew Morgan did a nice job.
Yeah, I agree. So back to the original conversation, there's this battle, this back and forth, this sort of tug of war. There's mixed emotions, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you regard this? In a very simplistic way, you regard it this way. They won 4 in a row to end the season, and they won a championship. And that there's definitely now. I was just going to say, okay, now swim, humor me. I was just going to say there's value in that. How much value is the question? That's the heart of the question. Yeah, that's the heart of the matter. How much value is there in winning the crown?
And I think since it is the inaugural tournament, we don't know. I think a team like Nebraska, it was perfect for a team like Nebraska to win the first crown.
Why?
Because
it
created storylines. Honestly, it created storylines across the country of, look at this, the team that hasn't won a single NCAA tournament game has now won an NIT tournament back in the 90s, but then it also has won a crown tournament. It's won it at all levels other than the NCAA tournament. But is that positive publicity?
I don't know. It makes me cynical as hell.
Is it the old no public, or all publicity is good publicity, or whatever it is? No publicity is bad publicity.
No, it's not that. I think it contributes to cynicism is my take.
Sure.
Listen, I said the positive. They chose to play in the tournament.
Yeah.
And they played really hard and at times pretty well. They just beat a team that was 7-13 in the Big 12, though. I mean, you don't want to go overboard.
And there was also something to be said here. I think there was something to be said. I was curious. Last Monday prior to the Arizona State game. Okay, what's the buy-in from fans going to be like? What's the investment from fans? Are we going to watch? I mean, it was a month since these teams played. It was 3 or 4 weeks since Nebraska played, since they missed out on the Big Ten tournament.
What are you saying the buy-in was?
I thought it was really good for it. I thought I personally, I was more interested in it on last Monday and then the rest of the tournament than I thought I was going to be.
I said what I said earlier, and I'm not going to. I felt it's okay. Again, humor me. I liked it because I didn't feel obligated. I didn't. Is that disrespecting the tournament? Maybe a little bit, not a lot. It wasn't the tournament.
Yeah.
It was. It did count on your record, though, so you can't call it an exhibition. But it was like a third tier tournament. I still regard the NIT a little bit higher because of the tradition. Those tournaments aren't what they used to be. I just didn't feel an obligation to watch it or write about it, but I respected it enough.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a lack of respect? A little bit, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Does
I'm gonna lean on a limb and say yes, it does. I just
a little, but no, it doesn't mean I was not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel this obligation because of what it was.
Well, I think there was some curiosity going into it of, okay, how serious is this tournament going to be? Like
Fox did a great job, right?
Fox did a great job with
Fox did an incredible
way
job.
better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Fox did an incredible job of production, right? Production and putting their top guys on it.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Robbie Hummel was doing the first game with Kugler.
Yep.
That told me a lot. Fox put a lot into it. Is it viable in the future? Yes, it's viable if they continue to treat it like they did.
Well, I think that, and I think there's one way to always make it competitive, I think, and it's doing exactly the opposite of what the NIT did. And if you look at the NIT bracket this year, I mean, it was all mid-majors. I mean, Chattanooga was the winner of the NIT.
Right.
What the Crown did, though, is you had notable names. Like you had a Nebraska, you had a UCF, you had a Villanova, for goodness sakes.
Is UCF a notable
well,
name?
I'm saying in terms of a Power 5, a Power 6 team.
Yeah, they had
like
the power.
you can't make this about mid-majors.
I don't think so.
You can't. And because then it's going to lose its luster. Now, part of it is helpful because with Fox's connection to it, you have the conference tie-ins.
Right.
So you have that piece with it. I think Nebraska was like you said, Sip, and I'm in full agreement with you here, of that. I was proud to see the way that Nebraska came out and played.
Yeah.
I was proud of the way
they played hard.
That still doesn't change my feelings on the roster construction.
Which means
this is a massive offseason.
Oh,
Which sure, we can wait till tomorrow to talk about it. We can wait till tomorrow. We can wait till May 1st, whatever it is, right? We can wait. But at the end of the day, we had a texter that texted in here. Said it's from an unnamed texter. Says the coaching staff can't go now and miss in the portal this year like they did last year. Raleigh was a miss. Mia was a miss. Gavin Griffiths was a miss.
Those were misses. You can't do that again. You're right.
And he says
right.
and I really appreciate this text because both things are true. That was true. What he just said, or he or she just said, is absolutely true. This next part is also true. Should Cale Jacobson have been playing all year or not? I'm impressed with the veteran leadership, being able to hold the boat together and go win a championship.
Right.
Give me Cale over other guys all year long. No brainer, or am I wrong? Guys, what are your thoughts? I think both things can be true. The first part about the roster construction and how many misses from an evaluation standpoint there were on this staff and on this roster this year. But then there's also a truth to be said of what they were able to make out of the chicken bleep in the last 4 games is something that should be celebrated.
Yeah, I agree. Jacobson is an example of that. Jacobson looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
He hit that floater left-hander over the 7'2" defender for UCF. He just does a lot right. No,
well, think about it. He doesn't mess up. Like there's just not a whole lot of mistakes.
No, and I get it though. You can play that game as you can play that game of where was he at that point. You have to sort of, and this is I'll address the texter. At that point, you kind of have to trust your coaching staff, your head coach, that what they see in practice is what matters most. We see the games, and we do this as fans and media. We make a lot of assumptions based on very limited information, right?
Yeah.
We see the games. And you know what? Some of us don't even see all the games, and we still make assumptions. Whereas a coaching staff is seeing them every single day in practice. They're seeing how they comport themselves on and off the court, in film study, everything. So in some ways, you just have to trust the coaching staff. But you know what I noticed over the years? Sometimes they just get it badly wrong.
Yeah.
They just get it badly wrong and they play the wrong dude. And I'm not saying this is what happened, but it does happen.
Yeah. Corey brings up a great question on the text line, 402-464-56850. He says, I think the reality as Husker fans is that we've never been able to actually experience that March Madness win. Why do we really care anyway? It was fun watching these guys play, have fun, compete, and win above all else. The tournament should be the goal, but this could be very fun and intriguing if they increase the prize. Could that eventually lure more teams? I think we are going to get to a point to where they do increase the prize money. I think there's going to, just naturally, it's going to be the more investment that fans have in it, the more awareness that is brought to the tournament around the country is going to play a part in that. However, to the luring more teams part, we can't get it twisted. And Corey, you mentioned this. We can't get it twisted or forget about it. The goal is the NCAA tournament.
It's the problem I see in with Nebraska a little bit. It's mild concern. You just got it. You just addressed it. Winning has to matter.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then we're just covering glorified intramurals at that point. Corey, winning has to matter.
And Corey specifically mentioned that. He mentioned that he knows that the NCAA tournament's the goal.
Right.
But it could this lure more teams potentially. Maybe. But then it's once again, it's like, how intriguing is a tournament of
also rans
500 teams?
Well, I mean, UCF
like 500 level programs.
Hold on. Some of these teams weren't 500.
Yeah.
That's what you have to almost remind yourself. They weren't 500. Nebraska didn't make the Big Ten tournament. I mean, it's not wrong to. I find it to be a interesting, compelling, tricky discussion.
Yeah.
How do you regard this crown championship? I think it is wrong to just say, sip, they won a championship. Just enjoy it. Okay. No. Yes and no. Yeah. And I did say, I love the fact they played, and I love the fact they played hard and played pretty well and won. But you can't lose sight of the big objective, which is the tournament that matters.
And we've gotten this comment a lot. Corey and Lincoln, different Corey, makes a good point. Says it was a consolation prize. It's all about the tournament. Now, Scaper brings this in, and this is really fascinating. Would you rather play the tournament, the NCAA tournament, when your odds to win are less than 2%, or instead you could win $300K? They are kids, and money rules. If
they don't get that money, the kids don't get that money.
If we ever get to a point to where Nebraska or any basketball program at the beginning of the year says, look, I don't want to be a 9 seed. I don't want to be an 11 seed. I'd rather play in the crown. Then basketball is in a horrible spot.
You just nailed it.
I mean, that would the crown is great. I get it. Like, is there a better chance that Nebraska went on and won the crown rather than if they were an 11 seed and they played whatever six seeded Clemson?
What are you saying here?
No, I'm saying, was there a better chance that Nebraska plays the crown, wins the crown over beating a 6 seed?
But what would you take
maybe
here?
But no,
you want the chance to beat the 6
You
seed.
want the chance to be a champion,
right?
A national champion,
right? Why? Okay, my question to you is: do we really have to debate that?
Yeah,
I think we do. There is what you're getting at here is there's a level of delusion that sort of concerns me. Like it does concern me a little bit because there's this. It's sort of delusional to regard this as something even close to winning a first round game in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
It's delusional, but you know what? I will say this about sports and following a team and following sports. Delusion's kind of the part of it sometimes. And it makes it safe for you to follow. And Nebraska got in a safe spot for them.
Yeah.
They're in I don't like that, but it is what it is. And they got into a little safe place, you know.
Scaper follows up last thing before we go. He goes, hey, I agree with you guys 100%, but it seems like the money rules, or will the will the NCAA tournament offer money soon? No, I think the NCAA tournament, guess what? They offer competition. Like they offer the best of the best competition.
If you win the NCAA tournament, the money comes. You don't have to worry about
100%,
that.
100%.
The money comes organically. It comes the right way. This gift, by the way, doesn't go directly to the players. It's your NIL program.
I suppose that you could say that the crown, brings money because it's been so public. But if you make noise in the NCAA tournament, if Nebraska makes a Sweet 16, let's just throw that out there. Are they able to raise more than $300,000?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot more.
100%.
Hey, listen.
We just don't know about it. It's not so public. It's not so transparent. It's not so out there of, hey, look, guess what? These guys are getting $300K toward their NIL part.
It's a little bit startling to me that we're even having the debate, but we are, and that's fine.
Mozzarella Monday coming up next. Get those messages ready for us on the Starter Heyman text line. Nick Sainert, Steve Sipple. We'll be right back on Early Break.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Presented by Nebco on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe. At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Now's the perfect time to get even stronger at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join today for just $1 down, $15 a month. Mix up your routine or create a customized workout plan with free fitness training. That's right. Certified trainers, unlimited sessions with best-in-class equipment. Plus, there's over 2,700 convenient locations to choose from, with most open 24 hours. Save $28 or more today when you join Planet Fitness for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends April 11th. See Home Club for details.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Well, good morning, little brother. Is Early Break. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. It's Early Break on The Ticket. Before we get to Mozzarella Monday, by the way, just a side note, Nick Sainert filling in for Jake Sorensen, as Jake will be back tomorrow, so we'll be good there on that front. Sipple will be joining me in just a moment. Had to step out. We had some guests come on into the station. Before we get to Mozzarella Monday, we have not yet mentioned the Lincoln Stars. Obviously, a friend of ours here at the station. You can listen to Outside the Box with head coach Rocky Russo every Tuesday night. The Lincoln Stars over the weekend won the Anderson Cup, which is the championship. Speaking of championships, they won the Anderson Cup, which is the award given to the best USHL team in the regular season, the Lincoln Stars. 43-15 on the season are the Stars. 43-15, Sipple. They win the Anderson Cup. They finish out the regular season this Friday at home against Tri-City. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to attend a Lincoln Stars game this Friday.
They're clipping at a high level.
They are. Shout out to head coach Rocky Russo. But yeah, so like I said, the Lincoln, they matched the 2000 and 2002 seasons for the most wins in a single season in their 29-year history. The Stars won the Anderson Cup for the fourth time in franchise history. Lincoln also guaranteed that it will have home ice advantage for the entire Clark Cup playoffs, in addition to a first-round bye. So once again, Lincoln 43-15 on the year.
Damn.
The Lincoln Stars. So shout out to Coach Rocky Russo and that entire squad.
Seriously.
Over the weekend. So
seriously,
I felt like that was a really good way to kick off what is Mozzarella Monday, sponsored by our friends at Valentino's. You can text us your best of the weekend, anything personal, sports and life related, etc., and we will give the winner a $25 gift certificate to Valentino's. So text us now, 402-464-5685. If I'm understanding this right, Sip, you write them down.
I'll write them down.
And we collectively decide. So there you have it. Once again, Mozzarella Monday. Let's get things rolling here. I got to scroll down and find a couple of them here. Mozzarella Monday, daughter scored her first hat trick in the cutthroat 5-year-old YMCA girls soccer league. Mozzarella Monday. So daughter scored her first hat trick in the cutthroat 5-year-old YMCA girls soccer league. They said she has now entered the transfer portal and we're welcoming NIL deals. That's from Seth.
Hey, Seth. Good luck with that.
Yeah, right?
Try to get 6 figures.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. We had another one in here for Mozzarella Monday I have to go through a couple of the
daughter hat trick's the first one.
Yeah, daughter hat trick is the first one. If you already sent, there was like 4 that have already been sent in. So if you've already sent one in, please send them in again because here we go. Delightful weekend. Says, Doctor, love your advice came in, took it to heart on Friday and sparked a whole weekend of laughs, quality time. Brad from Mozzarella Monday says, I got a new, this is not from Brad.
This is not from Brad. Mozzarella Monday. I got a new job on Friday afternoon, going to work full time with some great guys. How about that one there for you?
New job. Hey, that's significant.
Yeah. So there's that. The Mozzarella Mondays are a little light today.
We got two good ones.
People must have had a pretty bad weekend.
Mozzarella Monday. What is good in your life? What happened?
Darren chimes in and says we packed Raisin Canes for the national champions, Ridge Lovett and Antrell Taylor.
Okay.
Corey brings up, this is not necessarily Corey's personal one, but Alexander Ovechkin surpassed Wayne Gretzky for all-time goal scorer in the NHL.
Would he come in and get a Canes or Valentino's Mozzarella Monday?
No, but Corey could, since he mentioned that.
Okay.
So there you have it. Scaper says, I got to spend some quality time with my grandpa, who's 90 years old. He was able to talk to all of his great-grandkids this weekend.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty good one. That's a really good one from Scaper. There we go. Now they're starting to roll in on Mozzarella Monday. Winner gets $25 to Valentino's. Brian says, I did a total bathroom remodel for my wife, who's been yelling at me to get it done for 2 years. So Brian remodeled his bathroom.
Tell me you didn't do that in a weekend. That would be remarkable. Did he do that in a weekend?
Yeah, I mean, by total bathroom remodel, are we talking, Brian, like shower, sink, countertops, mirror, painting, everything?
I've seen bathroom remodels take 5 months.
Yeah. We have my son was a homer away from the weekend cycle in baseball.
Ooh.
In youth baseball, a home run away from a cycle. A double, and a triple was recorded. Brian says the Huskers are champions, and you cannot convince me otherwise. That's another Brian. Says the Huskers winning a championship. If Brian and Jill say friends threw me and my wife a surprise 15-year anniversary party.
Oh, okay.
We'll take 3 more if we get them here in the next 20 seconds or so. Mozzarella Monday. Oh, here we go. This is one. Bought a Ninja Creamy Deluxe so we can make our own ice cream. It's delicious. Do you know what a Ninja Creamy is?
I don't.
Okay. Well, that's probably not going to win, though. I apologize.
Ninja Creamy Deluxe second. So they made ice cream?
Yeah. So now you can make ice cream. It's basically you can make it healthier if you want it. It's a creamy. It makes it ice cream. Brian says, this is back to the total bathroom remodel. Says we did everything except the shower. So there's a little more detail in a weekend. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. The last one for Mozzarella Monday. My wife received a promotion and today started as the director at the daycare center that she works for. So there you go. So we have some good ones to choose from there.
All right, we're going to narrow it to 3.
Okay.
All right, get ready. Daughter hat trick is
daughter hat trick in the 5-year-old soccer league.
Yeah, daughter hat trick has made the final.
Okay.
Quality time with great grandpa.
I think so.
Or was that great grandpa or grandpa?
Great grandpa, 90 years old.
Yeah, that has made the finals.
Got to talk to the great grandkids.
That has made the finals.
And the last one.
I'm going to say it's the bathroom remodel.
Okay. So those are the final 3.
Now we have
Brian, Scaper, and Seth are the top 3 for the Valentino's $25 gift card.
How would you rank those?
I think it's hard to the one difference.
Let's see if we get the same.
The one difference is the bathroom remodel does not have to do with family.
Okay.
And so for that reason, I say 3rd.
Okay.
I say bathroom remodel is 3rd, even though it's real impressive.
What's 2? You have quality time with grandpa and daughter hat.
This is hard to choose from. It's do you want to go with a 90-year-old or do you want to go with a 5-year-old?
I have to go with the 90-year-old.
Okay.
Now I love the daughter hat trick.
Yeah.
I love the fact she got a hat trick. That's to be celebrated. But quality time with the 90-year-old great grandpa
and the great grandkids.
Yeah, I have to say
I think so too.
That's the winner of Mozzarella Monday.
So there you have it. That was Scaper. They are winners of the $25 gift card to Valentino's here on Mozzarella Monday. Once again, appreciate all the texts in there. But once again, thanks to our friends at Valentino's here on Mozzarella Monday.
Did you notice? And you did not. You showed a lot of grace when I somehow put Raisin Canes in this.
Yeah.
It's a Mozzarella Monday. This is
Well, it's okay.
Valentino.
It's okay because we put Raising Cane's because we had Darren from Raising Cane's chime in.
You showed me some.
But Mozzarella Monday. Shout out to our friends at Valentino's. There you
go. I would go to the one on Holdridge and 30.
Did you how often did you frequent the big buffet that was on Van Dorn? 70th and Van Dorn.
When the grandkids were around, we that was a cost cutter.
Okay.
You could save a lot of money by taking 6 grandkids to.
Well, it used to be. Now then it became about $13 a person for the buffet. And that was bizarre, but it was good. So
we did a lot.
Yeah. I didn't know how often buffet. I mean, the whole like 2020, 2021 years like killed buffets and stuff.
Yeah, they
so
did.
That's fine.
They did.
But
it did kill them.
Yeah, that was the place that when we were playing baseball in high school, we'd had this thing called Survivor Saturday, where it was basically like a 6-hour practice with conditioning on just one Saturday in the spring.
Jeez.
Well, the issue is, so after we'd get done with this, we'd start practice at like 10 a.m. We'd get done with practice like 4, and our entire team from Pius would go over to the Valentino's buffet.
Really?
So there's core memories made at that Valentino's buffet.
Absolutely.
From high school baseball.
Those
time.
are good memories.
They are great. They're great memories.
Hey, and by the way, I'm always careful about what we say, or usually careful. I don't think buffets are dead. There's just fewer of them.
Okay.
Right?
Far fewer.
You can still find an old country buffet in Omaha, I think.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure if you look hard enough, you'll be able to find one. So that's it. Once again, Mozzarella Monday presented by our friends at Valentino's. Let's step aside. When we come back, we wrap up the show on a Monday here on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Presented by Nebco on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Boyk Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Boyk Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at Boyk, B-O-E-C-K, farmoutfitters.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Koppel also has over 10,500 off list on new select models. So please stop on by and see what confident driving and confident buying is all about. We're right down 144th Street or online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit, 0% is standalone.
Get ready for spring by joining an evidence-based program to improve your health and well-being. These programs use proven strategies to help you make lasting changes, whether it's boosting nutrition, increasing activity, managing stress, or enhancing wellness. Invest in yourself today and feel your best this spring and beyond. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
We're on the air.
Back.
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So I always appreciate Jake for this. He always makes sure that when I fill in for him on the show, he always makes sure that I have all the reads I need to have and everything. He put on this one, Jake's back tomorrow. So that is my cue to tell you that Jake will be back tomorrow. He is back tomorrow. So he will be reunited with Sipple and Bill. Hopefully if Bill was just a little under the weather. That's the only reason why he left. There was no other reason. Just a little under the weather.
You gave me gum.
Who did?
Probably trouble. I'm chewing gum on the air right now. It's not good.
Just don't be blowing the bubbles and popping them. You'll be fine. But other than that,
can you tell I'm chewing gum right now?
Not if you wouldn't have said anything. And if you're watching on the video, which you aren't on the video, I'm on the video right now because I'm the one talking. But either way, been a quick moving show. I didn't know if I'd make it through the way that I was texted at in the first segment. Didn't know if I'd make it through it, but here we are, 3 hours later, locked
really
and loaded.
You when people
Not one bit. But this is the spillover as we get ready for the drive, where you can hear me for another 2 hours. The spillover sponsored by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Sip. We talked a lot about the crown. Obviously, talked a lot about the Final Four, just championships in general. We mentioned the Lincoln Stars in the last segment. We have yet to mention, though, our friend of the station, Paul Klempa, and the Husker Bowlers made the Final Four over the weekend.
Oh,
they made another.
Know this.
They made another Final Four over the weekend. So a big shout out to Paul Klempa, Coach Klempa, of Nebraska bowling, and they were able to make the Final Four again. So,
Paul, if you're listening, congratulations. Paul is definitely a good friend of the show, good friend of the ticket in general. And Paul, plan on an appearance once the nationals are over.
There you go. Since one piece we have not talked about with Husker basketball real quickly, and it's kind of an open-ended conversation. What do you think? What do you see happening with the assistant coach spot? Do you feel like Nebraska is going to find somebody, or do you see a potential for like a Peyton Borders who was filling in for Adam Howard? Like, where would you like to see Nebraska go by chance? Do you have any thoughts on that by chance? No thoughts.
I mean,
I put you on the spot here. I did, and I know you hate when I do that.
No, I don't hate it when you do that. That's the sort of thing I probably, as a 58-year-old who's been in this market forever, should know off the top of my head. I have no strong opinion on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we haven't talked about, there's been very little conversation about losing Adam Howard. I mean, this is an assistant that was responsible for a big part of Nebraska's success over the last couple of years.
Hold on.
Now I can tell you're chewing gum.
There's not as much talk about it because they didn't make the Big Ten tournament.
They won the crown, though.
I mean, honestly, I'm not joking around.
Yes, me neither.
I mean, it's not, he left, he left, but you don't look at it like, oh my God, how are they going to recover?
Sure.
Because then if you're just being real, you'd say recover from what? Not making the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah.
I mean, can't we have real conversations? I feel sometimes like we can't. Like people
I
don't
feel like
want
you have
me
to be so careful with how you phrase it to have a real conversation.
Did I phrase it improper?
No.
I mean, so he needs an upgrade, apparently. That's what I would say.
Felt like there was a better opportunity at NC State.
I look at these situations differently than a lot of fans. Not all of them, though, because I hear fans that say, you need to keep talking. You need to keep saying that stuff. Or, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Right? You say, can they recover? Recover? We just covered a team that didn't make the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Recover from what?
I told you this during the break. Is we had some messages that kind of just trickled in a little bit over the last couple of minutes, and a lot of them was, should Nebraska shoot for the crown every year? Should they play for this 300,000 every year?
Not realistically,
and maybe not realistically.
They're not saying that.
But just to remind everybody is that if Nebraska's in the crown consistently, that means that they are consistently a bottom half of the Big Ten type of team. And are you willing?
Nobody
are you? But I think no, because I think sometimes there are. And are you willing for that to be what Nebraska fans? We always talk about the pain and suffering that Nebraska fans endure, right? Which sure, are you willing to endure the pain and suffering from January to March just to play in the crown because it's a safer spot? And if your answer is yes, that's fine. We can agree to disagree.
No, it's really not fine.
But no, I'm saying we can agree to disagree because I feel like we don't do that enough in today's world anyway, is agree to disagree.
Okay.
But
I'll give you that.
My thing is that expectation or that goal is unacceptable. And I think Fred Hoiberg would tell you the same thing.
Think Fred would 100% tell you the same thing.
Because if Nebraska's consistently playing in the crown, then those are the teams that are bottom half of their conference, that are fringe or barely making or missing out on their conference tournament and are not even a conversation for the big one.
UCF was 7-13 in the Big 12. They lost by 50 points to Duke.
Yeah.
Keep it in perspective. I don't think that anybody in their right mind is suggesting that it would be okay just to become a perennial crown team.
Yeah.
Because that means, as you said very eloquently, you're finishing in the bottom half of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And if we allow ourselves to lapse into that sort of world, then what are we doing? We have given up, essentially, right?
Potentially.
No, not potentially. You have given up at that point and said, we are not ever going to be Auburn. We're not going to be Florida.
Yeah.
We can't do that. That's for other people. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And I would tell you this, there is no way that Fred Hoiberg's of that mind. There is no way. If you're coming at swim on this or Sipple, you're coming at Fred. Because Fred would never, ever lapse into that sort of world.
You're right. Yeah, Corey in Lincoln last text says, what the hell are you talking about, Nick? The crown? Is this a joke? Just because some cowards text in some stupid junk doesn't mean you have to entertain it. This was just honestly an extension of our conversation that we've had, not only the first segment, but the 8 o'clock segment, and now in the spillover here. By the way, this has been the spillover, sponsored by our friends at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. We're going to get out of here. Our time is up, Sipple. It's been a pleasure as always. A couple of weeks, and I'll be with you guys one more time.
You will be here.
Yes.
In a couple of weeks.
In the first week of May. Okay. So for an extended period of time. The Drive with AD, Raf, Amon Green, and myself is coming up next. For Bill Bush, Steve Sipple, Nick Sainer. Jake is back tomorrow, when he will talk to you then here on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Presented by Nebco on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount